up, everyone? It's me, Stef, the Alter Nerd, your nerdy alternative, and welcome to Alter Nerd Live Tea with Stef Special Edition. Yes, I am launching a new series, Tea with Stef, every Saturday night, 10 o'clock UK time. Join me with a cuppa as we sip some tea, maybe spill some tea along the way, and discuss the latest that's caught me eye, basically. How are you all doing this wonderful Saturday night? Hope you're having a wonderful weekend so far. Before we get into all of the good stuff, guys, there's a little bit of housekeeping. Firstly, if you do want to get your tea upgraded, and I'll let you know what I'm drinking in a moment, then make sure you go to www.thedragonstreasure.com, put in code ALTERNERD for 10% off everything. Everything. Go nuts, go for it. If you want to upgrade your tea game like I have, then yeah, you can use that code and you can save some coin. It is an affiliate code. I do get a little bit of a something back, but that does not affect the price whatsoever. At the moment, I got into something new, and I'll explain why in a moment. But this is tasty as hell. Magical Girl Jupiter. There we go. As it tries to focus. You can kind of see it. It's got green tea. Okay, this is how much raspberry is in this thing. Natural raspberry flavour. Raspberry leaves. Raspberries and rose petals. That is literally the ingredient list on here. So much raspberry. And I'll tell you something, guys. Check this out, right? Oh, it smells of raspberries. Oh, yeah, and it tastes of raspberries as well. You guys went absolutely nuts on the green cider tea, right? That it's pretty much, when I spoke to Tea Man, pretty much sold out, right? It will be coming back in March, but in the meantime, I am proper jonesing for the Magical Girl Jupiter tea. And I would like to say so myself, I think I'm a magical girl. I think I'm a magical ass, absolutely. And I agree with this tea, so that'll do for me. Also as well, if you are considering donating, do be aware that all your donations at the moment are going towards upgrading my computer because, yeah, big crystals on the last legs. So if you are considering donating, you do have a range of means to do that. You can super chat as always, but bear in mind, YouTube takes about 45% of that. If you want your favourite creators like me to get pretty much all your donation as intended, you do have other options to consider, such as Stream Elements, PayPal, and Cash App, particularly for me. And all that is in the Linktree link, which is pinned right at the top of the chat. Everything I've just discussed is pinned right at the top of the live chat there. And if you're watching on the replay, it's in the description bar below. With that being said, I'm going to be saying hi to you all shortly, but let's get into the main topic of the day. Oh, yeah. No joke, guys, no joke. I want you all to be commenting along the way. What do you think to the evidence that I've uncovered? Do you think this changes your mind, or starting to maybe look at the other side and consider things a little bit more? Because I'm certainly there at the moment. Yeah. Before we get into all that, though, as ever, a little bit of housekeeping, guys. YouTube human reviewer, I see you looking. I'm definitely not going to say any trigger words and definitely not going to say anything that's going to offend your ear holes. And to everyone else awesome enough to have clicked on this video, whether you're watching live or on the replay, hey up, how you doing? If you love this kind of news and pop culture on the daily, served with a little bit of sass and gobbiness, which is basically this, do make sure you click on that subscribe button, like, share, comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theories and whatever's. Also, as well, for your consideration, you can always send me a super thanks, which is just below this video right here. It does guarantee a response from me. And, oh yeah, guys, let's definitely jump into this, shall we? So, I'm going to start with, why did I consider the potential that Prince Andrew might actually be innocent in the first place? And that Virginia may be lying or mistaken? Well, a couple of months back, this happened. Yeah. So Virginia had turned round and was very adamant for a while that Alan Dershowitz was, quote unquote, a monster. That he was a monster, right? She, though, admitted to it came out in November that she admitted that she might have been wrong to accuse Alan Dershowitz of being a monster in a new court filing, bringing to an end a 3-year legal battle between the pair. So she turns around and she says in a statement to The Independent that she long believed that Mr. Dershowitz was a monster because of Hefe, we'll call him Hefe, but that she was very young at the time, had been in a stressful and very difficult environment, to say the least. She says in the statement, I now recognise I may have made a mistake in identifying Mr. Dershowitz. The statement, first reported by the New York Times, read, the defamation lawsuits brought by Virginia and Dershowitz against each other have been dismissed without any costs or fees awarded to either party. Dershowitz, who's a Harvard emeritus law professor, probably pronounced that wrong, but whatever, had consistently and strenuously denied all allegations made by Virginia. But he did praise Virginia for having the courage to admit to the mistake in an interview with The Independent on Tuesday. So this is the thing, right? You have got Virginia literally saying for years, that this lawyer, this Harvard law emeritus professor, right, for years saying, he's a monster, he's a monster, he's a monster. He's linked to Hefe, he's a monster, right? He did things, he's a monster. Okay. Not till November it comes out, oh, yeah, sorry, I was mistaken, I made a mistake. Big, massive freaking mistake to make, don't you think? Don't you think? I mean, I've been very, very open in terms of what I've been through, right? And all that, okay, without going into too much detail. And let's put it this way, okay? For legal reasons, I'm not going to say who my monster is. Why? The police know. Straight down, the police know exactly what happened to me, who did it, all the details, right? That is in my head, they know. Hands down. But the thing is, I know who my monster is. I am not mistaken in my monster. I know who he is. I cannot fathom, as a survivor, how you could, for years, say, this person's a monster, this person's a monster, this person's a monster, and then turn around and be like, oh, yeah, sorry, I was mistaken. That was a mistake. My bad. No. In my head, I cannot fathom how anyone could say, yeah, it was a mistake. Okay? But nevertheless, that is what Virginia is claiming here. Okay. So this got me to thinking, well, hang on a minute. If she's mistaken about Alan Dershowitz, who she has for years absolutely trashed him, saying that he's a monster, he's a monster, he's a monster, who else could she be mistaken about? Well, one of the more high-profile allegations from Virginia, the most high-profile one, is Prince Andrew. Prince Andrew has been like Alan Dershowitz in terms of his emphatic, like absolute denial and rejection of Virginia's claims against him, right? Has been absolutely like Alan Dershowitz. Never happened, never happened, never happened. Absolutely false, categorically false, right? He's been so resolute and so steady all these years, like Alan Dershowitz. So my question then became, well, hang on a minute. Could Virginia be mistaken about Prince Andrew as well. Well, I've uncovered, I would like to say, some shocking evidence for your guys' consideration. And the question is to you guys, could Prince Andrew actually be innocent? And could Virginia be lying or, at the very least, mistaken like Alan Dershowitz? You guys can decide on that. And here we go on the shocking evidence. This is an article from the Daily Mail all the way back on the 2nd of March, 2011. Okay? So this is over 10 years ago. And so here we go with the headline. Prince Andrew and the 17-year-old girl and Heffe flew to Britain to meet him. Okay. Well, this is the thing, and let me lay it all out for you, okay? So at the time, back in 2011, all right, Virginia was horrified of the evidence between the links between Heffe and Prince Andrew, which, let me keep it 100, I am too, all right? I am too. She was known as Jane Doe 102 at the time, but this is the first time that Virginia came out publicly with her real name, waiving her anonymity, and to tell the story for the first time without her anonymity. Like, completely public, you know her face. And just to make you aware, my phone's already blowing up with notifications already with your kind donations. I will get onto them once I've explained this story. If you are considering donating, please keep it coming. It's going towards upgrading my new computer. So thank you so much, because it really needs upgrading now. There's more problems with it, unfortunately, from today. Anyways, I digress. So, here we go. Yeah, this is the first time she's spoken out publicly as her real name, her identity completely shown, all right? This is a major, major step for her, right? They explain her real name is Virginia Roberts, and she now lives in Australia. She's happily married, mother of 3. She spoke with them over the course of a week to the Mail on Sunday. And this bit, I want you to remember. She appeared sometimes vulnerable, sometimes steely, but always quietly resolute and consistent. Well, where was her consistency with Alan Dershowitz? But anyways, revisiting events from the past she had hoped to have left behind. She occasionally buries her head in her hands. She says here, I'm telling you things that even my husband didn't know. Okay? So here, the main things to take away from this part is, A, she is out there now in the open. Her anonymity is absolutely gone. You know her name, you know her circumstances, all right? B, she is appearing quietly resolute and consistent. And C, she's even saying, look, I'm telling you things that even my husband don't know, all right? So to me, she's laying it all out on the line. And this article is very, very lengthy, okay? But let's get to the bit where she's talking about Prince Andrew, all right? Because let's put it this way. You would have thought that if there was anything intimate that happened between her and Prince Andrew, she would have mentioned it in this article, right? Because she mentions everything else, guys. Keep that in mind as I'm reading this. So this is the part where she now describes her beginning meetings with Prince Andrew, and he enters the story. So they say, look, finally they went to London. So this is Virginia, Effie, and Maxipad, all right? She says, after we landed, we drove straight to Maxipad's house. I was given a small upstairs bedroom, and the following morning, Maxipad came in. She was chirpy, jumping on the bed, saying, get up, sleepyhead, you've got a big day, we've got to go shopping, you need a dress, you're going to dance with a prince tonight. She said that Virginia needed to be smiley and bubbly because he was the Queen's son. So Virginia explains that she and Maxipad, they went to Burberry, they bought a £5,000 bag, they went to a few other designer stores, They bought a couple of dresses, pair of embroidered jeans, a pink singlet, perfume, makeup. Again, be very, very aware here that she is giving details, right? Details. Details that are peripheral details, right? Not about the actual encounter itself. You know what I mean? It's peripheral, it's outside details, but very detailed heavy, right? Again, they went to Burberry, yeah? So she names a brand that she went to. She gives a value amount to a bag that was bought for a £5,000 bag. And a pair of embroidered jeans. Not just jeans, embroidered jeans. A singlet. Not just singlet, it's pink. Right? So she's giving very, very specific details here, okay? So she then says, look, we went back to Maxi Pad's house at around 4. She went straight upstairs to get showered, get ready and all that. And then went downstairs and she found Maxi Pad and Heffy, and they were in the lounge. There was a knock at the door. Maxi Pad led and Prince Andrew in. They kissed each other on the cheek, okay? So this is the first bit of their meeting. Described from Virginia herself, from her gob to your ear holes and your eyeballs as you're reading this and you're hearing it from me right now. The first encounter, they kissed on the cheek. Okay? Fair enough, right? Let me just get a sip of my tea. Lubricate my throat with some magical girl Jupiter. Oh, yeah. Right. And so, here we go. She says, Maxi Pad had served tea from porcelain pot and biscuits. So again, it's not just Maxi Pad served some tea. No, it's Maxi Pad served some tea from a porcelain pot and biscuits. Again, very specific details here, right? She knew Sarah Ferguson, so Fergie, Duchess of York, guys, and they talked fondly about Prince Andrew's daughters. That's Princess Beatrice and Eugenie there. Then she describes that Maxi Pad asked Prince Andrew, how old he thought I was, and he guessed 17, and they all laughed. Maxi Pad made a joke that she was getting too old for Heffy. Maxi Pad says, this is quite disgusting, really, to be fair. He'll soon have to trade her in. It was widely known that he liked young girls. The four of them then went out to dinner. They went to that tramp nightclub, and she explains that Prince Andrew danced with her. So, okay, there was a little bit of very disgusting joke made by Maxi Pad and Heffy, which, to be fair, yeah, okay. You can imagine that they would be that disgusting to do that, right? All right. But nothing so far in terms of anything inappropriate happening between Virginia and Prince Andrew, right? Here we go. So they were out for about an hour and a half, and then she says that they went back to Maxi Pad's house. They all went upstairs, and here's the bit where this infamous picture comes about. That's highly contested as to whether it's real or not. So she says that all of them went upstairs and that Virginia asked Heffy to snap a picture of her with Prince Andrew, saying that she wanted to show her mum. And then Maxi Pad and Heffy left us after that, and later Prince Andrew left. That's it. That's it. For their first meeting, guys, that is it. That is it. It was, he came into the room, they kissed each other on cheek, they chatted, they had a meal, they went out to a nightclub, they danced, they went home, they took that picture, Maxi Pad and Effie then left, leaving Virginia and Prince Andrew. He was there for a while, and then he left. That's it. Nothing in between. Now, bear in mind, when you read this whole article, she goes into quite a lot of detail in terms of what happened to her. She never once says here that in their first meeting, Prince Andrew was inappropriate to her at all. At all. Bearing in mind that pretty much at the beginning of this article, she's horrified by the evidence of Giuffre and Prince Andrew enjoying each other's company in New York. So you would have thought that if anything inappropriate did happen on that first particular meeting between Virginia and Prince Andrew, that Virginia would have said something. And again, especially when you consider that she was quietly resolute and consistent, so she knew what she was saying, she was aware of it, and she was telling things that even her husband didn't know. So she was laying it all out on the line, guys. All out on the line. And not once does she say in that particular part of her story that Prince Andrew was inappropriate with her. You would have thought she would have, right? You would have thought, based on all of that, yeah? Oh, wait. But there's more. But there's more. Here we go. So, in the morning, MaxiPad said you did well. He had fun. Okay. So, all they did, according to Virginia, right at the beginning, back in 2011, when she first spoke out, and she was resolute, she was consistent, telling things not even her husband had known, so she was going into it, right? Was they kissed on the cheek, they had dinner, they danced, he stayed behind a little bit, but that was it. That was it. Okay. They flew straight back to America. Now, prior to all of this, when she got on to discussing Prince Andrew, she was discussing their travels across the world. And, you know, Mail on Sunday was able to corroborate that. They were able to confirm that where Virginia said they were, yes, when you looked at the flight logs, yeah, they were at those places, okay? Now, apparently on the last leg of the trip, Virginia was paid about $15,000, which is just under £10,000 by Giuffre. She says it was amazing money, more than I'd ever made on a trip with him before. He didn't say there was any special reason, but I felt like I'd done everything he wanted. He was very pleased. She says he didn't say there was any special reason. Because there was no special, right? In his disgusting sense, right? Possibly. Nothing really happened between Prince Andrew and Virginia based on what she's saying there. Again, they met, they kissed on the cheek, they had a meal, they danced at a nightclub, they went home. He was there for a little while, but then he left. Nothing else. Nothing else she describes in that first encounter. Nothing else. Okay. And here we go. This is why I said that. Look at this bit here. There is no suggestion, none, zero, zilch, that there was any intimate contact between Virginia and Prince Andrew, or that Prince Andrew knew that Effie paid her to have intimate time with his friends. Again, let me repeat that. There is no suggestion, zero, zilch, nada, bump kiss, nothing, that there was any intimate contact between Virginia and Prince Andrew. Zero, none. And this is back in 2011 when Virginia is talking for the first time as herself. You know her name, you know her circumstances, you know her face. Again, she's resolute, she's consistent. She's telling things that not even her husband knows. Quite a bit to leave out. To not say, oh, and by the way, me and Andrew got it on. Okay. Now, I'm not saying Prince Andrew's innocent, all right? But I'm not saying he's guilty either. We all know that absolute dreadful interview, okay, from Newsnight that he did. There's something, right? But I believe he has done. Totally. Or he knew, or there's something, right? There is something, okay? I grant you that. But when we look at this particular situation between Virginia and Prince Andrew, and Virginia's allegations against Prince Andrew, to me, they are now on rocky ground. And there's a few other reasons as to why, and I'll get onto that shortly. And oh my goodness, my notifications are still blowing up. Thank you so much for your support so far, guys. Do keep it coming if you are considering that. Every little bit helps in terms of helping me upgrade my computer in this studio, because it's really getting bad now with it. So thank you so much. I will get onto the thanks once I finish with this article. Oh, let me get another swig of tea. How are you enjoying tea time with Stef so far? Have you got your cups of tea? Let me know what you're drinking. I've got the Magical Girl Jupiter version, which you guys can get on the dragonstreasure.com. Use code ALTERNERD for 10% off. Save yourself a little bit of coin and drink one of my favourite teas now. Oh, yeah. Okay. So that's a big one, right? Now, however, Prince Andrew must have been aware of Hefe's conviction when he stayed with him in New York in December, okay? So again, like I say, is he guilty of something? I mean, potentially. That Newsnight interview was an absolute car crash. There's something he's hiding, something that he knows, something that he did. I don't know. There's something he's hiding. Okay? So, with that being said, if we just look at Virginia, Prince Andrew, the allegations of Virginia against Prince Andrew, I'm sorry. It's not as strong as I once thought it was. Again, there's no suggestion that there was any intimate contact between Virginia and Andrew, or that Andrew knew that Hefe paid her to be intimate with his mates. Right? Now, she describes the second time that they met. Okay. So maybe it happened the second time, right? Okay. Notice what she says and notice what she doesn't say. This is the issue, right? So, they met second time around Easter 2001, according to Virginia, at Hefe's mansion. She says, when I got to the mansion, I was told, get ready, you're meeting someone in the office, which is what they called the library. Prince Andrew was sitting there in a big leather armchair. Now, at the time, Maxwell, oh my goodness, Maxipad had given him a present. It was a toy that was his spitting image puppet. Prince Andrew was smiling ear to ear. He looked like a kid whose parents were taking him to Disney World. Now, there was another girl that was there called Joanna who had worked for Hefe, and he was sitting on Prince Andrew's knee. Maxipad, Virginia says Maxipad guided her over to Prince Andrew, and Virginia says, I think he recognised me, though I don't know if he remembered my name. Okay, well, that's fair enough, okay? Because I'm really, really bad with names, guys. Like, really, really bad. It's not even funny. But I'm really, really good with faces. Once I remember your name, that's it. But right at the beginning, I'm really no good with names. I'm really not. And that's because of medication, but that's by the by, okay? So, okay, he recognised her face but didn't remember the name. All right, I can get that. They kissed on the cheek again. All right, fine. And Maxipad then placed me on his other knee. So you've got Joanna sat on one of his knees, Virginia on the other knee. Okay, right. Here we go. She says, Maxipad put the puppet's hand on Virginia's lady lump. Then Prince Andrew put his hand on my lady lump. This is how Virginia then describes it. You would have thought it would have been, based on Virginia's allegations now, oh my goodness, it was a violation, it was harassment, I didn't want it, I felt embarrassed, I was shocked, I froze up. That is what you would expect. Something along those lines, okay? Oh no, oh no. How does Virginia describe this particular event? It was a great joke. Everybody laughed. So you've got Prince Andrew, okay, where Virginia is now making these horrific allegations, yeah? She, for the first time, is speaking out, again, being resolute and consistent, saying things that not even her husband knows, laying it all on the line, with her name out there, her face out there, her anonymity gone. And you've got a scenario that she's describing where Prince Andrew has his hand on one of her lady lumps, and instead of describing it as horrific, intimate harassment, never wanted it, never asked for it, she froze, she was embarrassed, all this malarkey. No, she describes it as, it was a great joke, everybody laughed. You really think that's consistent with what she's saying now about Prince Andrew? Right? And again, don't get it twisted. I do think Prince Andrew is hiding something, right? I do think he's guilty of something. Whether he's guilty of hiding a particular piece of knowledge that the authorities need to know, or he's done something, there's something there. Again, you only have to watch that Newsnight car crash of an interview to know that there's something going on. But the allegations that Virginia is making against Prince Andrew, you look at the first time she spoke out about it, and I don't know. It's not consistent. It's fishy to me. Now, Virginia goes on to describe a third and final time that she met Prince Andrew. So, does she finally explain any inappropriateness here? Bear in mind that the only smidge of inappropriateness that's been mentioned at this point was Andrew putting her hand on a lady lump. But by the way, she describes it as a great joke and everybody laughed, rather than saying, oh my goodness, I didn't want it, I froze, I was embarrassed, I felt awful, it felt disgusting, it felt whatever, icky. Yeah? No, she didn't say that. It was a great joke. Instead, it was a great joke. Everybody laughed. So is it the third time that Prince Andrew was inappropriate? Well, let's find out. So she explains she met Prince Andrew for the third and final time on Hefe's Island, Little St. James. Now, this is the thing that everyone needs to understand here, okay? Virginia was never under the British legal age of consent when she met Prince Andrew. She was 17 on the first two encounters and 18 on the third. Because the British legal age of consent over here It's actually 16 years old. Yep. Yep. So, my American audience that's out there right now that's watching, okay, this is something that's not, I believe, really mentioned much in the media when it comes to Virginia's allegations against Prince Andrew and that whole situation. She was never under the UK legal age of consent when she met Prince Andrew. Yep. The legal age of consent is 16 in the UK. She was 17 on the first 2 meetings and 18 on the third. Now, whether you think that the UK legal age of consent is right or wrong, hey, that's on you, right? But over here, the law's the law, just like over there, the law's the law, right? Okay. But as with age by now, Hefe had started to hint that Virginia was getting too old for him. As we know, Hefe and Maxipad are monsters to the highest degree, right? Oh, this tea's good. Flop it in the spot. Now, during the trip to the island, Hefe and Maxipad made their most astonishing proposition, and one which repulsed her. So she never says, okay, over the course of these meetings with Andrew, that she was repulsed. Not up until this point, when it was Hefe and Maxipad that come with an idea that then repulses her. Now, is this idea anything to do with Prince Andrew whatsoever? Anything to do with Prince Andrew? Well, let's find out, shall we? They said Hefe wanted me to have his child. They said I was part of their family and I was beautiful, young, loyal and nurturing and would be a great mother. They said I would have to sign a contract relinquishing rights to the child and consenting to Hefe having as many relationships as he liked. In return, I'd have my own mansion in Palm Beach, a large monthly payment, a percentage of his income. This finally was a wake-up call to Virginia, and she began to see the way in which she was being manipulated. She says, it was a smack in the face. I finally realised this wasn't ever going to be a real relationship, but I knew if I refused, I'd be thrown back out on the streets. So I said, I'm too young. I want to get my massage credentials. Then maybe we'll do it. That's it. She then goes on to say that she went to Thailand, she enrolled in a massage course. That's when she met Robert, fell in love, married Robert, and then kind of went from there with a story. None of which includes anything about Prince Andrew. So let me get this straight. Virginia's current accusations against Prince Andrew is all about him being improper towards her on an intimate kind. He's a monster. Yeah, the first time she speaks up about this back in 2011, completely out there, you know her name, you know her face, you know her situation. The Mail says she appears resolute and consistent. So she knows what she's saying. She even says, I'm telling you things I've never even told my husband before. Describes 3 times that she met Prince Andrew. All of which, not once does she say that anything inappropriate happened to them. The only smidgen of inappropriateness was Prince Andrew having his hand on one of her lady lumps. And even then, she then describes it as a great joke. Not, I was mortified, it was disgusting, I felt disgusting, I never wanted it, I froze, I didn't know what to do. None of that. None of that. Never once says. And if we go back to the part of the article that to me is like, shiz the bed. There is no suggestion, none, zilch, nada, when she's telling her story about, in this part, what happened between her and Prince Andrew on those 3 occasions. No suggestion there was any intimate situation between Virginia and Andrew, or that Andrew knew that Effie paid her to have intimate time with his mates. None. Zero. Even if, right, let's have the benefit of the doubt. Even if she wasn't ready, let's say, to really lay it all out on the line, yeah, and say, yeah, Prince Andrew is a monster. Even if she wasn't ready at that point to literally say that, to put it out there, Andrew is a monster, right? You would have thought that she wouldn't be able to help herself as a survivor to insinuate or leave a little breadcrumb. Oh, you don't know Prince Andrew like I do. You don't know what goes on behind closed doors. Don't do that. Again, I repeat, there's no suggestion there was any intimate contact between Virginia and Prince Andrew, or that Prince Andrew knew that Heffy would pay her to have intimate time with his mates. Zero. None. Zilch! So what changed? What changed? To where she is now saying that Prince Andrew's a monster. Why is she saying it now when she didn't say it all those years ago when she first spoke out for the first time? Or even insinuated or had a little breadcrumb or something to sow some doubt that Prince Andrew is not what he cracks up to be. What changed for her then to turn around and say that he is a monster? Bearing in mind with what I said right at the beginning, she was very resolute and consistent at the time with her allegations that Alan Dershowitz was a monster. But, oh, lo and behold, back in November, oh, I was wrong to accuse him. I was wrong to accuse him. Sorry, I was mistaken. My mistake, my bad. Sorry, Alan Dershowitz. Sorry about that, mate. My bad, my mistake. Yeah, I'll drop my lawsuit. Please don't crucify me. Again, she was mistaken about Alan Dershowitz after all those years, and that was 3 years that she was consistent and resolute. Could she also now, through her consistency and resoluteness with Prince Andrew, mistaken about him as well? Could she be lying? Could she be mistaken? Well, this evidence here that I've uncovered of this article back in 2011, to me, my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, suggests that her allegations, for me, are not as strong as they once were. They're just not. They're just not. Now, don't get it twisted, guys. Do I think Prince Andrew's dodgy as hell? Yes, I do. Again, you watch that Newsnight car crash of an interview, it's obvious. He's done something, he's hiding something, or he knows something and he's hiding it. You know? A piece of information that will help the authorities, whatever, right? Or he's witnessed something, right? He's hiding something. He's guilty of something, whether it's hiding information or that he's done something. To me, that's obvious. But what I'm saying is, you look at the allegations for Virginia to Prince Andrew, and you just then read what I've just read. Something is not right with this picture, guys. It just isn't. It's not. It's not. And the other thing that I want to mention, let me get another swig of my tea. How are you enjoying tea time with Stef so far? What you guys drinking? Let me know. You can get 10% off what I'm drinking at the moment, which is Magical Girl Jupiter from the Dragon's Treasure, and it's raspberry flavoured. And guys, it smells of raspberry, and it damn well tastes of raspberry. The tea man is a freaking genius, I'm telling you. This is the other thing that I don't get about Virginia at all. All right? That to me is a sense of, it puts her whole character into question, guys. It really, really does. And it's this. Two things. First up, a lot of Jeuffre survivors have turned round and have made allegations against Virginia. And they've turned round and they've said, she recruited us. She was part of the Jeuffre machine. She recruited us. That doesn't jive well with Virginia's allegations and her stance that she was a survivor of Jeuffre. The other thing that doesn't jive well with me when it comes to Virginia is you have all these survivors of Jeuffre turning around and saying, she recruited us. There's not a lot of them that are actually turning around in defense of Virginia and in support of Virginia. I'm not hearing that. I'm more hearing she fucking recruited us. Rather than, yeah, she's a survivor, I went through the same thing or similar and all that malarkey. No. Interesting, right? Now, I'm not saying, okay, outright, that Virginia's lying or that she's mistaken about her allegations with Prince Andrew. Okay. All I'm saying is this article puts doubt in my mind when it comes to Virginia's allegations against Prince Andrew. Because she has said publicly, after being so resolute and so confident after 3 years, Alan Dershowitz is a monster as well, Alan Dershowitz is a monster, and then turn around afterwards and be like, oh yeah, my bad, it was my mistake, I was mistaken, sorry Alan. Soz Alan! Let's drop our lawsuits and just go our separate ways. Yeah? Well, then, she was mistaken about Alan. Who else could she be mistaken about? And again, let me be absolutely clear on this. The legal age of consent in the UK, for all my American audiences, is extremely different. It's 16 years old. The first 2 occasions she met him, she was 17. So a year after the age of consent, legal age of consent in the UK. And the third occasion, she was 18 years old. Again, 2 years above the legal age of consent for the UK. Guys, when I saw this article, I found this article and I read it, my jaw hit the floor. I was shocked because there is not one mention of her turning around and saying, insinuating, saying outright, however, that Prince Andrew is a monster. But she sure is screaming it from the rooftops now. What the hell changed? Guys, everyone that's watching live, stay exactly where you are. I'll be reading your comments in a moment and going through your kind donations and thanking you all. So thank you so much for that. Everyone that's watching on the replay, thank you so much for joining. If you liked this video and you want more, and believe me, there is going to be more, do make sure you click on that subscribe button. Help us get to 100k so we can get that silver play button. Like, share, comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theories, whatever's on this one. Yeah, interesting situation, right, guys? And with that being said, for all those that are watching on the replay, thank you so much for joining. Until the next time, laters. And for everyone that's live, hey up, guys. How y'all doing? Oh my goodness, I'm loving this cup of tea. I've got, I'll try and lift it up in a moment so I can show you. I've got this thing. Will it let me? Yeah. I've got this, right? And what it does is I put my cup of tea on it and it keeps it warm. It's like, oh my goodness, I've just found like one of the best tea inventions ever. Ever. It keeps my cup of tea warm. It's so amazing. And guys, at the moment, for all those that are tuning in, I found one that I really do like. It's called Magical Girl Jupiter. Guys, it smells of raspberry and it tastes of raspberry. And if you look at the ingredient list, and let me show you, this is the one here, right? If you look at the ingredient list, right, it's got green tea, wonderful. Here we go. Natural raspberry flavour, raspberry leaves, raspberries and rose petals. Like, so much raspberries in this. Like, this is amazing. And that's the ingredient list. That's the ingredient list. Amazing, right? So, guys, if you want to get in and upgrade your tea game and get some tea before next Saturday's second episode of Tea with Stef, then make sure you go on to dragonstreasure.com. Put in code ALTERNERD and you get 10% off absolutely everything that you order. Bear in mind it is an affiliate code, so I do get a little something back, but that doesn't affect your price whatsoever. And yeah, let me know what you've ordered and what you think to the tea. With that being said, let me go through a few thank yous first before I say hi to you all. Oh my goodness. So firstly, Tammy, thank you so much for the PayPal. Wow, of £41. That is extremely generous of you. Off to the upgrading, the computer fund that goes, saying, shocked to hear YouTube takes 45%. That's borderline extortion, so I'd rather pay the working girl instead of the pimp. Hey! I like that analogy. Thank you so much, Tammy, for that. And yeah, YouTube takes 45%. And if you watch a YouTube short, right, the ad revenue on that, check this out. YouTube takes 55%. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So when it comes to your favourite creators, if there are alternative means for you to donate, if you are considering donating, do it. For me, if you are considering donating, the best and preferred ways are PayPal, Cash App, and Stream Elements. And all that is in the link tree, which is pinned right at the top of the comment, including the website where you can upgrade your tea game and put in code ALTERNERD 10%. Put in code ALTERNERD for 10% off when I can get my teeth back in. Also, as well, I would like to say a big, massive thank you to Val. Thank you so much for the £15 PayPal. That's very, very generous of you. Off to the upgrading the computer fund that goes, saying, I really enjoy your show and I'm rooting for you to reach 100k subscribers. Thank you so much. That's very, very kind of you. In the meantime, let's see what you guys are all chatting. Let's scroll down. Project Metal Music, thank you so much for being a badass mod and sharing the website and the code. Brilliant. Oh. Let's scroll down. Just see where we start with the story. Jean Rick says, this is going to be good. I have a feeling. And actually, Jean, thank you so much. For earlier on, I just scrolled down. Where was it? Here we go. Jean Rick, thank you so much for that PayPal from earlier on of £10. My goodness, off to the upgrading the computer fund. That definitely goes. Saying outrageous, YouTube is taking so much now. You guys do such amazing work. They should pay you. Here is to finding a new platform, one that appreciates you guys and all you do love. Oh, well, thank you so much, Jean, for that. I really, really appreciate your face. One of my OGers. Yeah, off to the upgrade of the computer fund that goes, which, by the way, as I like to keep it all 100, the computer that I found, with everything that I need from what I'm doing now and for the future, it is going to be about £4,000. So again, just to keep it 100 with you guys, that is what we'll be investing in. Satan's PR guy is here. Hey up, as is Lady British Canuck. Hey up, lass, how's it going? Sarah says, you still got a croaky voice, Steph? A little bit. It's kind of there and it's kind of not. It kind of makes the appearance. But yeah. Al Lawson, Tetley or Yorkshire tea? Neither. TheDragonsTreasure.com. Code ALTERNERD for 10% off. I'm drinking Magical Girl Jupiter, which is a raspberry flavoured tea, which literally smells of raspberries and tastes of raspberries. It's amazing. I love it. You guys will definitely love it too, I am sure. Jane says, beer. He's drinking beer. Fair enough. Vampire Girl says, I got me a hot chocolate. Fair play. Marlana be like, let me get tea. Get your tea. Get your cuppa ready, guys. Sarai says, oh, wow. All this time we were thinking the worst of this man. I didn't know that he might not be guilty, right? There's this whole narrative against Prince Andrew that he's guilty, right? Guess what? I think there's a reason for that. I'm putting my conspiracy hat on here because I think, again, is he guilty of something? I think so. Has he done something, or does he know something that he's withholding from the police, or has he witnessed something that he's withholding from the police? Yeah, I think something along those lines is going on. Opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, right? But, and this is a big but, there has been how do I put this? There are so many people, right, that are linked to Hefe and MaxiPad that could potentially be guilty of the most monstrous things to women and underage. Where are they in the news? Where are their allegations? Why aren't the mainstream media talking about them? Why aren't the mainstream media crucifying them just like they're crucifying Prince Andrew right now? We're talking about Bill Gates. We're talking about Bill Clinton. Just for starters. Why aren't they in the news just as prominently as Prince Andrew and the rest of them with their allegations, with their links with Hefe and MaxiPad? Why is it all the focus publicly on Prince Andrew? Why? Right? Right? It's as if there is a possibility that you could potentially think that Prince Andrew publicly is the fall guy to cover for everyone else. Right? Interesting, right? Interesting thought, interesting theory, right? Just saying. Now, again, is he guilty of something? I do think that. Again, you look at that car crash of an interview on Newsnight. Dude is hiding something. But these allegations that Virginia is making? Again, something's wrong with this picture, guys. Something's definitely wrong with this picture. Hey, NJS55 says, loving the tea idea, Steph. Well, thank you. Every Saturday, 10 o'clock UK time, grab a cuppa, preferably the dragonstreasure.com cuppa, and yeah, enjoy some tea with me as we spill some tea. And, discuss things that maybe not everyone else is discussing, guys. Because I tell you something, don't see many people considering the option that he might actually be innocent. Do you? Dear Manna says, do you mind if I join you with something stronger than tea? By all means, as long as you still come in. Lady British Canuck says, does Dragon's Treasure deliver to Canada? Well, he does deliver to the UK. Find out. Order and find out if it gives you the option to deliver to Canada. I know that it does do worldwide delivery, so presumably so, yeah. Chaos Druid says, will you ever do a coffee one? I don't like coffee. But I do like tea. So there we go. And there we go. TheDragonsTreasure.com. Use code AlterNerd for 10% off. You save some money. You upgrade your tea game. I get a little something back. It helps support the channel and the community. So why not? Right, guys? And then you guys can join me every Saturday, 10 o'clock UK time. And we could drink some tea together. Let's see. Now, this is a thing. Cash. Andrew didn't fight it. Andrew's been dodgy for years. Black sheep. Okay, so let's think about this, right? And let's think about this pretty heavy. Yeah, he didn't fight it. Why didn't he fight it? Why? This time last year, they pretty much settled, right? This was before the Platinum Jubilee for Her Majesty the Queen, Queen Elizabeth II. If he was going to fight this, the court date for everything to kick off was going to be around about September time, after the Platinum Jubilee. So what was going to be the scenario at that point if he was actually going to continue to fight it? Well, the scenario would have been that the Platinum Jubilee would have gone ahead. However, there would have been this spectre that would have hung over absolutely everything across the royal family and across the royal nation, which would have been Prince Andrew's legal upcoming court case with Virginia Giuffre. And that would have completely overshadowed the Platinum Jubilee, which was extremely important British national celebration that was on the global stage at that point. No one wanted that. No one. So the theory goes, Prince Andrew settled not because he couldn't fight it, because he could, but the theory goes he settled so that it wouldn't overshadow the Platinum Jubilee for Queen Elizabeth II. Because he put the crown first above anything else. And that's the thing. That's the thing. When it comes to the British royal family and the British royal culture and tradition, your needs come second. The crown comes first above anything else. You only have to watch The Crown on Netflix to understand and get that. You just do. And it's true. If you have to fall on the sword in order to protect the crown, you do it without question, without hesitation. That's just what you do. And the theory goes, that's exactly what Prince Andrew did. He wanted to fight. He wanted to take it all the way. But he couldn't, because it would have damaged the crown. It would have damaged Queen Elizabeth II and a Platinum Jubilee celebrations. So he had to fall on that sword. And that was it. And that was done. And people can turn around and say, well, what about that photo? What about that photo with Virginia and Prince Andrew? But by Virginia's own recollection in that interview that I've just read out, where she spoke out for the first time as Virginia Giuffre, you know her face, you know her circumstances, everything, where she is resolute and consistent, saying things in her words that she hadn't even told her husband. That night, she explains, I asked for a picture with Prince Andrew because I wanted something to show me mum. Maxipad and Hefe left. Prince Andrew was there for a little while, then he left. And so literally after that, the article explains there was no indication, no mention, no what's it of any kind that anything intimate happened between her and Prince Andrew. So with that picture, it's highly contested as to whether it's freaking real or not. I do think it's real. I do think it's real. We got an expert on over on Popcorn Planet to decipher that picture, and he came up with a technical knowledge that really, really does have a strong indication that picture's real, right? So let's entertain the idea that this picture is real just for 1 second. If it is, well, by Virginia's own recollection, when she first spoke out about it to the Mail back in 2011, as she is consistent and telling things that not even her husband knows about, and she's resolute. By Virginia's own gob, she provided no indication, no confirmation, nothing whatsoever that anything actually intimate happened. Could have just been Prince Andrew met Virginia, took a picture, he went home. That's it. That's it. All that picture proves, if it's real, is that Prince Andrew did meet with Virginia and they took a picture. Doesn't prove anything else other than that. When you just look at the picture on its own merit. It's not as straightforward as you think, guys. It's not as straightforward as I originally thought, guys. Especially after uncovering this evidence, uncovering this article. It puts a different perspective on everything that I thought when it came to Virginia and her allegations against Prince Andrew. It really, really does. Michelle saying, hey up, Steph. Yes, I'm subscribed and I'm a member and I love your gob. Oh, well, thank you so much, Michelle. Members, leader onlys, make sure you stay tuned on the community tab. I will be announcing shortly when the leader only stream will be for February. So keep an eye out for that. And if you guys don't want to miss out on the leader only stream, then make sure you consider at the very least joining today for $4.99 a month. It's the same for everyone. I like to treat all my leaders the same, and you all then get access to the emojis, the badges, the leader only videos, which I dropped quite a few this month of my vlogs in America when I was there last month, so you guys get to see all of that, and the leader only streams once a month, so hopefully I'll see you all there shortly. Cash says, I get the angle, but each case separate, to be honest. Rich, white, privileged males look the same. A prince is different. It's only a circumstance in terms of his prince. He's still a rich, white, privileged freaking male who was born with a spoon up his backside, right? Holly says, either way, he's still a scumbag for continuing his friendship with Hefe after he was convicted. Yeah. Like, you can't say who you can't tell someone who they can be friends with and who they can't be, right? Let's get that completely, clear there. However, Yeah, it was a mistake for him to carry on his friendship with Effie. Like, totally. Totally. Um, Also, as well, my goodness, first up with the leaders making their comments. I see you guys. Deez and Maria has been a leader for 9 months. Thank you so much for your continued support for the leadership. Really appreciate you. Saying, hey up, Steph, drinking peppermint tea and having a biscuit. Very nice. I'm drinking from the Dragon's Treasure Magical Girl Jupiter, which is a raspberry flavour one, which is very, very tasty indeed. The other one that I really, really like, which is the apple cider tea. Guys, you guys went nuts for that. Like, nuts with a capital N. To the point where T-Man's turned around and says, yeah, we're pretty much sold out. We're going to be restocking, he says, and it's going to be March time that the apple cider tea will be back. But in the meantime, this raspberry flavour one, oh, definitely is the shiz. I'm telling you that now, guys. Linda James says, I hear what you're saying, but why didn't Andrew go to court? I've just explained that. Carly Power says, she got £13 million and it was all a lie. Well, this is the thing. Like I said, the theory goes that he wanted to fight it. He was willing to go all the way with this to prove his innocence, right? The thing is, though, court case was going to happen after the Platinum Jubilee. And that was going to overshadow the royal family for so long and completely put the crown into danger, into disarray, and damage the crown, i.e. Queen Elizabeth II, that just couldn't happen. So he had to settle. That's the theory. That's the way it goes. And it's true. Your needs come second before the crown. The crown will always come first. Always. That is the culture. That is the tradition. If you have to fall on the sword in order to protect the crown, you do it without question. Without hesitation. It is done. And the theory goes that's exactly the scenario that Prince Andrew was in, and he had to do it to protect Queen Elizabeth II and the crown. Simple as. £30 million is a lot of money, but at the end of the day, Virginia Giuffre, like for want of a better kind of phrase, had him by the balls. Because she was never going to stop unless either A, she got him in court and he lost, or B, she got paid a shit ton of money. Becky says, Prince Andrew acted sketchy. Imagine if he is innocent. Well, this is the thing. Again, I've said, yeah, there's something with Prince Andrew. He knows something, he's witnessed something, he's done something. There's something there, right? Opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever. But again, you look at Virginia's allegations currently towards Prince Andrew, and you compare that to what she said, or more specifically, what she didn't say back in 2011, when she was describing her 3 meetings with Prince Andrew, which, by the way, she was above the legal age of consent for the UK. Again, something wrong with this picture, guys. My BS alarm is going off like no one's business. Just is. Something's not right with that picture. KitKat88 has a different opinion, saying Virginia was subjected to many monsters over years and years, so I can understand why she was wrong about Alan Dershowitz. But Prince Andrew is another kettle of fish. Why? My question to that would then be, well, why? Why? Because at the end of the day, right, when it comes down to it, regardless, the basic of the scenario, the situation is this. Just like Prince Andrew, right? Just like Prince Andrew. She was resolute and consistent when it came to Alan Dershowitz. Alan is a monster. Alan is a monster. Alan is a monster. Prince Andrew's a monster. Prince Andrew's a monster. Prince Andrew's a monster, right? Totally resolute. Totally consistent, right? Oh, sorry, my bad, my mistake. I was mistaken, Al. Sorry, mate. I'm gonna drop me lawsuit. Please don't be angry at me. Good luck with the rest of your life. After she nearly destroyed his with her allegations. On the face of it, if you look at it just on a basic level, she was resolute and consistent with her allegations towards one gentleman where she's turned around and she says, oh, shiz, I was mistaken. My bad, sorry. She's mistaken about one person that she has made an allegation towards. Then the rest of her allegations towards Prince Andrew and any of the others automatically are called into question. Has to be. Because the question then is, well, hang on a minute. You were so consistent, so resolute, so adamant, and Alan was a monster. You're now turning around and saying that he isn't. Well, hang on a minute. We've got a similar one over here with Prince Andrew where you're the same. You're consistent, you're adamant, you're resolute that he's the monster. Well, if you're now saying you were mistaken about Alan, why were you mistaken about Alan? And what makes Prince Andrew so different where you're not mistaken about him? You see where I'm coming from? Regardless that if he's a prince or not, she's made an allegation against Prince Andrew where she's made similar allegations against some other person. She's mistaken about him, but not about Prince Andrew. Okay, she has come up with a good freaking massive reason for that. That is undeniable, that is like, oh yeah, that totally makes sense. Otherwise, no. Her allegations against Prince Andrew, as far as I'm concerned, opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, totally on shaky ground. Is she reliable? Because she's already proven, opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever, that she's not reliable with her allegations. Because again, she said with Alan, oh, sorry, I was mistaken, my bad. So she's not consistent. And again, usually with survivors, and especially the Hefe situation, right? You would have thought, someone with Virginia being so high profile with her allegations, that the other survivors of Hefe would jump to her defense and publicly support her. I don't see that. What I've seen instead, which is more troubling, is some of them turn around and saying, she freaking recruited us. She was part of the machine. She freaking recruited us. That's what I've seen. That's what I've read. That's what I've heard. Again, guys, something's not wrong with this picture. And there's an argument to be made, a conspiratorial one, admittedly, right? When I can get my freaking words out. That, think about it. There are other high-profile people that are linked to Hefe and MaxiPad. However, they're not in the news as much as Prince Andrew is. They're not being crucified. They're not being investigated by the media. It's all on Prince Andrew. It's as if he, in this conspiratorial theory, is publicly in the media taking the fall, taking all the hits for the rest of them, where they're able to still hide away and avoid all of that. Because the media is so focused on Prince Andrew that the rest of them are out of the way. right? Again, two biggest high-profile ones that spring to mind, Bill Gates and Bill Clinton. Reportedly links. Why aren't they being absolutely crucified in the media just like Prince Andrew? Something stinks with it all. Something proper stinks. Keep It Real says, Steph, I'm a survivor too. I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, she says, I believe there's no way she could have been mistaken. Even if I smell a certain man's deodorant, it takes me back. Once it happens to you, you never forget your monster. Facts. Facts. You can't be mistaken. It's impossible. It's either this is your monster or it's not. You can't name a monster and then be like, oh, sorry, I was mistaken. That just doesn't happen, in my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever. It doesn't. And Keep It Real is reaffirming that. If I scroll down a little bit more, Laura Wilcox has been a leader for 3 months. Thank you so much for your continued support for the leadership. Saying, really enjoy your live streams. Tea with Steph. Hey, yes. Grab your cuppa, have a tea with me. Let's spill some tea and, let's discuss stuff, right? Absolutely. Diza Marias, thank you so much for the 300 Icelandic krona. Really appreciate your face saying, hey, you. And she's got the Mr. Green blob. Well, hey, you back. Thank you so much. Off to the upgrading the computer fund that goes. And if I scroll down a little bit more, Theda Corker says, has been a leader for 6 months. Thank you so much for your continued support. I really appreciate that, honey. Saying downloading Cash App. Oh, my goodness. Thank you so much for considering to download it, let alone actually doing it. And if you are considering donating to me via Cash App, my goodness, Theda, thank you so much, even for that consideration. That is really, really kind of you. As I keep mentioning, because I really do believe it is very important to be transparent when it comes to your donations. Any that you are considering sending over to me, they're all going towards the studio, specifically upgrading my computer. It's shutting down automatically now, guys. At just random periods, it just goes and it just shuts down, which is definitely not great if I'm streaming, and that's happened a couple of times now. Also, as well, it's really getting slow and laggy. I've done checks on it. I've done absolutely everything. The problem is the amount that's plugged into it. She's just not powerful enough, guys. So, yeah, I need to get a stronger bird in, a stronger warrior in, and upgrade Big Crystal to something more powerful that can deal with all the equipment that's plugged in, all the programs that I'm using to stream for you guys, everything. So yeah, for all those that are considering donating, that's where your donations will go for. Thank you so much in advance for your consideration. I appreciate that. And Theda, thank you so much for downloading Cash App. Angel Nikki has been a leader for 7 months. Thank you so much for your continued support for the leadership, saying, love watching you, Steph, love hearing from you. Well, thank you so much. I love your support. I really appreciate that, Angel Nikki, so thank you so much. We've got Brider, who has been a leader for 8 months. My goodness, guys. Thank you so much again for your continued support for the leadership, saying, hey up, Steph. I always wind up missing the leader-only lives, but I'll keep a lookout now that I know it's coming up. Keep a lookout. Community tab, guys. Community tab. Let me just see. Also, as well, Laura Gray. Welcome to the leadership, Laura. Thank you so much for joining. You now have exclusive access to the badges, the emojis, the leader-only videos, and I uploaded like 4 over the last couple of weeks, which were the vlogs from last month's Florida trip. So enjoy all of that. And yes, the leader only stream for February that will be coming up. Hopefully I'll see you there, Laura. So thank you so much for that. Let's scroll down a little bit more. See what else you guys have been saying. Linda says, I believed all along that Prince Andrew was innocent, and our beloved Queen is not here to see this unfolding. Well, I'm saying there's a possibility. Could Prince Andrew actually be innocent? And I'm now actually thinking he could. He could still be innocent, guys. This is insane. He could still be innocent. Could actually be innocent. Carly says, my head is exploding. Project Metal Music, thank you for being an awesome mod, sharing my link tree out. Wendy Marino, I see you in the chat saying I'm going to find the safest way to donate to Stef. So the preferred methods, Wendy, is PayPal, Stream Elements, and Cash App. So do bear that in mind. Let me just see something. Yeah, so PayPal and Stream Elements, just to give you guys an idea in terms of where your money goes when you're considering donating through these options, they take about 5% of your donation for admin purposes and whatnot, which is fair enough. I can get that. Cash App, don't take a dime. Cash App, 100% of your donation, if you're considering donating through Cash App, goes towards your creator. So do bear that in mind. Your alternative is to do a super chat if you do want to do that. But YouTube can take up to like 45% of that now. So, bear that in mind. But all the other ways in which you can safely donate, all the alternative ways are in my link tree, which is there and is right at the top of the pinned comment there, Wendy. And yes, if you do like tea, check out Dragon's Treasure. Code AlterNerd for 10% off, guys. Kath says, I've never understood the relevance of whether or not the photograph was real or not, as in the UK, it's not illegal for someone of 17 years to have intimate relations. Exactly, right? The legal age of consent in the UK is 16 years old. The first 2 times Virginia met up with Andrew, she was 17, and the third time she was 18. But as I went through that evidence, that article of when she spoke up for the first time, even the article says it itself. There is no indication, there's no confirmation, there's no insinuation from Virginia that anything intimate happened with Prince Andrew. She never says anything about it. But now she is. Ooh, what changed? Oh, and she was mistaken with Alan. Could she be mistaken with Prince Andrew? This, to me, is legitimate questions, legitimate doubts in regards to determining the veracity and the truthfulness of Virginia's allegations against Prince Andrew at this point. It's as simple as that. Secretive Somebody says she'll have known that he couldn't defend himself. He was in with that vile crowd, and there will be stuff that he'd rather we didn't know. He needed silence, and only money could get her gone. Well, again, yeah, it speaks to what I've been saying in the sense of, do I believe Prince Andrew could actually be innocent? Is there a scenario where Prince Andrew could actually be innocent? Yeah. Yeah. That article, yeah, calls into question Virginia's allegations now, totally. But is he guilty of something? Oh, yeah. Like he knows something, he's witnessed something, or he's done something. Yeah, I really do. But Virginia's allegations against him, keeping that separate, yeah, something's wrong with that picture, guys. Something's wrong with that picture. Becky says, I'm shocked, completely shocked. You and I both, lass. You and I both. And oh my goodness. Wow, Joanne Hawley has just gifted 5 free leaderships out to some of you lucky lot. Who got the leaderships? Let's find out. So we've got Yvonne Irias, Stephanie Gentry, Jazzy B, Asa S, and Susie Tried. Welcome to the leadership for a month. Really appreciate your faces. Hope to see you in the next leader only stream, which will be February. Bear in mind that your leadership will end after a month. So if you want it to continue, you'll need to manually do it yourselves. But oh my goodness, thank you so much, Joanne, for bulking up the leadership ranks there. Appreciate your face. Thank you so much. Very kind of you. And Gainer Rands has been a leader for 16 months. Thank you so much for your continued support, Gainer, saying, hey, Steph, personally, I still think he's guilty, but just my opinion. Massive congrats on your success here, though I always knew you would soar 16 months ago. Oh, I see what you did there. Someone's been stalking my Twitter, but thank you so much. And yeah, watch out, Popcorn Planet Monday, major announcement. Like, I would like to say, in my humble opinion, life-changing major announcement. But yeah, stay tuned for Monday's Pop Culture Justice live stream over on Popcorn Planet. And we'll be making the announcement then. I see my notifications blowing up again. Oh my goodness, you guys are amazing. I'll get onto that in a moment. Just to read a few more of your comments. Let me just scroll down a little bit. So Cash says, sources for the article, the outlet. Sorry, Saturday night will leave you all to consider. Okay, so the source for the article is Virginia Giuffre herself. Virginia Giuffre went to the Mail on Sunday and spoke with them. The source is literally the accuser. Literally. AM1 says, Virginia is maybe worried she might be charged with recruiting for Hefe. She was 17, but she did turn 18, and she still recruited for Hefe. They're the allegations made towards her. They are. And tinfoil hat wearing idiot. Again, YouTube human viewer. Gotta stay away from keywords and things that'll offend them. Says, wow, you really are gross. She was underage and unable to leave her monster. Okay. Again, let me be very clear on this. In the UK, the legal age of consent is 16. So when she met Prince Andrew, she was 17 on the first two occasions and 18 on the third. Our laws in the UK for the legal age of consent is different. You must consider that. And you must put that into account when it comes to Virginia's story. You must. And it's something that not a lot of people, to my mind, is saying. Why? I don't know. But it's legal fact. It's legal fact. The age of consent in the UK is 16 years old. It is not America here. It's the UK. Whether you think that legal age of consent in the UK is right or wrong, that's on you. I get that. You're going to either agree with it or you're going to disagree with it. Fine. That is your right. However, that does not change what the law is over here, which is, again, legal age of consent in the UK is 16 years old. Now, if, big major if she was 15, so under the UK legal age of consent, fine. Guess what she wasn't? She wasn't. Exactly, Zombie Bolger. She wasn't underage in England. Yeah, she wasn't. She wasn't. There you go. totally is acting sketchy. But what's called into question here is Virginia Giuffre's allegations. And based on what she said back in 2011, when she spoke out, and more importantly, the things she didn't say, and everything that happened afterwards with her being mistaken about her allegations against Alan, I think it's safe to question, well, hang on a minute, are you now mistaken about Prince Andrew? Because when she spoke out all those years ago, she never once mentioned anything or insinuated that anything improper happened where she did not provide consent or did not want whatever. Not once. And the article literally makes a point of that. Again, something's wrong with this picture. Something is wrong with this picture. Her allegations are as not cut as dry as I once thought. They're just not. I think Leanne Jones says it best here. I don't think Prince Andrew's innocent. Yeah, there's something he's guilty of. I get that. But I also think Virginia's a grifter and she knew exactly what she was doing. I wouldn't want anything from my monster, let alone taking money from it. If it's the only way to be able to get justice, then yeah, I would. But yeah, I don't believe that he's innocent, but then I don't believe Virginia is either. There you go. Wendy says, I didn't know the age of consent laws. It's not wildly reported. But in the UK, she was of legal consent at that point, legal age. It's not 18 over here, guys. It's 16. HS says the crime, if there is any, is that he knew she was being passed around and he took advantage of that. That's illegal. But then again, the article in the Daily Mail from Virginia herself explains that A, there was no indication that anything intimately improper happened between them, and B, there was no indication from her that Prince Andrew knew that there was money being passed around for her to be passed around between friends. Again, I've got to be careful of what I say because of YouTube human viewer, all right? But you get the gist. And again, that's from Virginia. The source of that article is from Virginia herself. And this is a potential situation that we're looking at here, guys. It is something that should be considered. Instead of automatically thinking of Prince Andrew and thinking, oh my goodness, he's guilty. We need to rewire our brains on this one, I think. And consider the notion that actually he might be innocent. As WF4758 says here, I've always believed that Andrew was only guilty of poor judgment. And he was tried in the court of public opinion. It could just be that. The only thing he's been guilty of is freaking poor judgment of being friends with that monster in the first place. Right? There's a possibility it could just be that. It could just be that. Literally, the interview that I just went through was from Virginia Giuffre herself. She was the source. She actually spoke to the Daily Mail. That's where all that interview comes from. Here we go. 16, age of consent. I'm not talking out of my backside. I'm not defending that. I'm not defending that. Be extremely careful. I'm not defending that. What I am saying is Virginia Giuffre made an allegation against Alan Dershowitz, has been saying for 3 years that he's a monster. All of a sudden in November, she drops a lawsuit saying that she's mistaken, that she made a mistake, that Alan's not a monster after all. Which then calls into question, well, hang on a minute, if you're mistaken about Alan, could you be mistaken about other people that you are making allegations against, i.e. Prince Andrew? Have I once defended Hefe and MaxiPad? Hell no. Hell no. They're freaking monsters. You cannot deny that. You cannot deny that. They are monsters. But with Prince Andrew, again, I've said this all along. Clean your ears out. Do I think he's guilty of something? Yes. There's something. You only have to look at that Newsnight car crash of an interview to understand and see there's something he's freaking hiding. Whether he's done something or he's witnessed something or he's withholding information from the police that could help matters, there's something he's guilty of. Whether he's done something or withholding information, right? He's guilty of something, in my opinion, right? However, when you look at Virginia's allegations against Prince Andrew, okay, and you see that she makes an allegation against Alan, is resolute and consistent, just like she is with Prince Andrew. Alan's a monster, Alan's a monster, Alan's a monster, Alan's a monster. After 3 years, turns around and says, whoops, my bad. I was mistaken. I'm dropping my lawsuit against Alan. A legitimate question then must enter your mind. Well, hang on a minute. If Virginia is mistaken about Alan, is there a possibility she could be mistaken about others that she's alleging, i.e. Prince Andrew? And when you look at that interview that I've just gone through with the Daily Mail, where she describes she met with Prince Andrew 3 times and not once turns round and says, Prince Andrew was a monster. He did things to me. This is what he did. That's from Virginia herself. So, don't get it twisted. I ain't freaking defending those monsters. What I am doing is turning around and saying, if Virginia was mistaken about Alan, could she be mistaken about Prince Andrew? And based on the interview that she gave in 2011, she did that interview. It was from her gob. Not once in that interview does she say that Prince Andrew was a monster. Not once. If anything, she describes one instance, where he puts her hand on her lady lump, and what does she say? It was a great joke. Everybody laughed. It was a great joke. Not, it was unwanted. It was harassment. I froze. I felt disgusting. None of that. So yeah, don't get it twisted. Really, really don't. Doesn't matter. Soraya, it doesn't matter in the UK. You could be a 16-year-old in the UK and you could be having relations with a 55-year-old. That's legal. Because at that point, that 16-year-old is over the age of legal consent. There you go. This is a thing. And this is what can be called into question with Prince Andrew. What did he know? What didn't he know? Is he more guilty of that he knew something and he's withholding it, right? How many people knew what Hefe was doing and still associated with him? Exactly. Judy Ann Barker says, I've always thought she was not being honest. It definitely, with that interview and her completely backtracking on Alan, it calls everything into question in terms of what she's saying now, as far as I'm concerned. Vampire Girl says, loving the tea. Well, thank you very much. I hope you've got your cup of tea as well. Ms. M says, I have coffee and water today. Go on with your bad send, Ms. M. Laurie Wilcox says, Diet Dr. Pepper. I've never liked Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper's not my thing. Before I go on to any more of your comments, oh my goodness. Wow. So many more notifications. Thank you so, so much for your absolute kindness here and generosity. First up, Wendy, thank you so, so much for that really, really lovely PayPal of £2 saying, thanks, Stef. Keeps it real and fun. Well, thank you so much for your kindness there. Off to the upgrading the studio computer that goes. And also as well, my goodness, Kerry, thank you so, so much for that wonderful £5 PayPal. Very, very generous of you. Thank you so, so much. Saying, showing some love, Steph. Well, that's certainly a way to show it, Kerry. Thank you so much. Off to the upgrade in the computer in the studio that goes. Thank you so much, guys. If anyone else is considering sending me a donation, you can do so. You can super chat if you want, but YouTube takes about 45% of that. So if you don't want that to happen, and you want your donation to go exactly where you really, really want it to go, which is, your favourite creator like myself, there are other options. For me, it's Stream Elements, PayPal and Cash App, which is all in the link tray that's at the top of the live chat here and in the description bar below for your consideration. Again, all donations are going towards the upgrade of my computer in the studio, so thank you so much for your consideration, guys. Hey, Deeza Marie loves tea time. Carolyn loves tea time. Jen's got an iced tea. Not bad, not bad. I've never had iced tea before. I do want to try it, actually. Terry says, I've used every way possible to pay for my tea order. It keeps getting rejected. And I'm not the only one that's having the problem with the website. If you go on the website, right at the bottom, if I just put up here, right at the bottom here, there's a chat with us button. If any of you are having any problem whatsoever with the website, please click on the chat with us button and you'll actually chat with the team man directly. If you guys are having any issues with the website, please click on this button, let him know, and we'll get to the bottom of it. Okay, guys? Hey, Miralest says that she's loving tea time with Steph. I'm drinking peach tea. Very nice, very nice. Peach tea sounds really good. I have to get some. Lena Mand Garden says, yes, she enjoyed all the perks of a billionaire lifestyle. I think she had full agency over her decisions. She wasn't a captive prisoner. That is one theory. I mean, the thing is, at the end of the day, think about it. Correction. Some of the survivors of Hefe have turned around and says, she freaking recruited us. Like, is she squeaky clean? Is Virginia squeaky clean? I don't think so. I don't. I think it's much more complicated and much more complex than what mainstream media are trying to make it out to be. Prince Andrew's the monster. Virginia's the survivor. I don't think it's as basic as that anymore, guys. I really don't. It's scary. WF4758. Andrew was one of many, many influential and powerful people who freely mixed with Hefe. Yes. But he's the only one, the only high-profile figure that the mainstream media, as far as I'm concerned, is zeroing in on and completely crucifying. But what about the allegations against the other high-profile people that are linked to all of this. Why is it just Prince Andrew that seems to be publicly taking all the flack? It's as if, the theory goes, that he's the scapegoat. For the rest of the powerful and the rich that have actually done something wrong, potentially, they get away from the absolute public lynching via the mainstream media. Yeah. Vampire Girl says, I'm terrible with names too. Oh, yeah. Totally. I will remember your face all day long. When it comes to names, hell no. Hell no. And oh my goodness, I see more notifications blowing up on my phone. I will be getting to you guys in a moment. Please, if you are considering, keep it coming. We need to upgrade this computer. Oh my goodness. Lenormand Garden says she came from an unfortunate home life, divorce, poverty, neglect. So I agree she was a very vulnerable and impressionable young woman at the time, but she still made her own decisions. That is certainly one way of looking at it. Her allegations is not all the decisions she made were her own. Well, all her allegations now are in doubt as far as I'm concerned. All of them. What's true, what's not? Who knows at this stage? She was mistaken about Alan. Could she now be mistaken about Prince Andrew? That is not me defending those monsters of Hefe and Maxipad. They can burn in hell. But, again, legitimate question. If you're mistaken about Alan, could you be mistaken about Prince Andrew? And especially with that interview that she made back in 2011, not once did she mention that Prince Andrew was a monster. Not once. But again, she was resolute. She was consistent. She was saying things not even her husband knew. Interesting. There you go. If she didn't want it, why would it be a joke? It makes no sense to say it was a joke, right? And this is Sarai, I think, referencing the story that Virginia says in this article about Prince Andrew putting his hand on one of her lady lumps. And instead of her turning around and saying it was harassment, I didn't want it was disgusting, I felt a certain way about it. No, it was a great joke. Everybody laughed. That is how she describes it. And Prince Andrew's such a monster now based on her allegations. Again, something's wrong with this picture, guys. To me, it's not as consistent as I thought it once was. AM1 says, Andrew hanging out with Hefe is enough. Oh, yeah. I've said him hanging out with Hefe, bad. Bad choice, to say the freaking least, right? Not your average reaction channel. I can't. YouTube, for some reason, even now, right? I'm requesting a review on this. This is ridiculous. If you say trigger words, YouTube will limit the video or limit the stream so that not that many people then get to see it and get to watch it and get to hear a different perspective against the mainstream, right? If I say his name, YouTube will not monetize this at all. Will not promote it, will not do anything. It will be completely demonetized. So, yeah, I can't. And that's YouTube. That's YouTube doing that, not me. Bear in mind, I've just checked and they've still just limited it anyway because of probably me saying Virginia's name. Yeah. It's that bad. It's that bad on YouTube. You've got to be careful of who you actually say the name of these days. But I've appealed it already, so YouTube human reviewer, you're still lurking, right? I ain't said any trigger words or anything to offend your ear hole, so freaking green light this stream. What the hell are you guys doing? You divs. Anyways. Um, there we go. WF4758. Certain name triggers the YouTube human viewers, can lead to demonetization or removal of the channel. YouTube do not allow free speech. Well, kind of. They still technically do, but you've got to phrase your speech in a certain way to appease the YouTube human viewer. CK's, hey up, hun, saying, OMG, I had to look at the stream. I had no idea who Hefe and MaxiPad were. They're code names for who we're talking about. Yeah. Yeah, sure, Wendy, in the UK. Age of consent is 16 years old. And again, it's not, whenever this story comes out and is discussed in mainstream media, they don't say, oh, but by the way, the age of consent in the UK is 16, so do bear that in mind. They don't. Lenormand Garden says, yes, a story changes. True stories don't. I think she's embellished the truth so she could cash in again after cashing in the first time. Again, there's an argument to be made that this is all about money and not the truth. And again, argument to be made. Not that that is the case. Hey! CK's is lurking and cooking. Ooh! Multitasking you are, hun. And the maxi pad just killed me every time she said it. Yeah. Yeah. Darlene says, you mods are rocking it. Great job. Yeah, great job, mods. You guys are kicking butt. Thank you so, so much. Pooh Picker Upper. I agree with this, actually. He should have never settled the suit, but he should have also agreed to talk to the FBI if he has nothing to hide. I agree with that. I do. Totally. Abso-freaking-lutely totally. And it could just be guilty by association. It could just be that. Becky says, yeah, something's not right here. Right? It's not right. Deeza Maria is drinking peppermint and nettles tea. Yeah, apparently nettles tea is supposed to be like really, really good for you. Tag's got their own unsweetened tea. Nice. If you guys do want to upgrade your tea game, then check out the Dragon's Treasure. Use code ALTERNERD for 10% off. I'm currently drinking the Magical Girl Jupiter, which is a raspberry flavoured tea. And it smells of raspberry and it tastes of raspberry. This thing is the shiz. Boo Yeah, indeed. I've nearly finished it actually. I think I might need to make myself another cuppa, guys. Although I might actually be finishing shortly because it's just past midnight here. WF4758 though says, loving tea time, mid-morning in Tasmania, lovely sunny summer day, coffee in the mug. Hey, booyah! Love it! Love it! Um, Vampire Girl says, this lady seems like a lot of trouble. She does, doesn't she? Definitely does seem like a lot of trouble. And oh my goodness, more notifications coming through. Cheers the bell. I'll be going on to those in a few moments. I like to read some of your just normal comments as well in the chat because at the end of the day, even if you don't consider donating, that's absolutely fair enough because you guys just watching, liking, subscribing, sharing, that helps as well for the channel just as good. So you guys deserve that respect where I read as many of your comments as possible. I can't read them all, but you know, I try my best. I try my best. Um, hey up, hun! Legal Vices in the chat from earlier on. How's it going, Jeff? If you're still here, honey. Legal Vices be like, great, arrived just in time. Ugh, yeah. Yeah, but I think there's an argument now to be made that he could actually be innocent. It's insane. Loretta says, I always felt bad for Prince Andrew. He looked very uncomfortable in the picture with Virginia and Maxi Pad. I don't think he looked uncomfortable. I don't think he did. Darlene says, loved the tea time. I loved it too. Stay tuned for the second episode, Tea Time with Stef Live, next week, 10 o'clock UK time. Keith, it's not just a newspaper article. It's an actual interview with Virginia Giuffre. She spoke to the Daily Mail. They are reporting on literally what she told them. She is the source of that article. Read it. It's there. It's not, sources close to Virginia say. No, it's Virginia herself. Hey, Marcella. Hello, my friend. How's it going? Laura says, where did you get your teacup warmer from? Amazon. Just got it from Amazon. Susie Try says, good to see you, Steph. Really interesting thoughts about Prince Andrew, right? Mason's got a cappuccino. Nice. Christine was like, I was unsubscribed. Yeah, YouTube's been doing that a lot, has been purging subscribers. So do make sure that you are actually still subscribed to this channel. Chris is drinking Diet Sprite. Fair play. That's my bug, says exactly, Steph. There's men more powerful from around the world. Yet, publicly in the media, Prince Andrew's taken all the heat. When there are worse allegations against other men in the world that are more powerful and richer and more influential. Again, theory goes, is Prince Andrew publicly being made the scapegoat so the rest of these powerful men don't have to answer to the mainstream media and the public? Because Prince Andrew's taking all the heat. right? Before I go any further, oh my goodness. You guys have been blowing my phone up. Thank you so, so much for all your generosity. Everything is going towards upgrading my computer in the studio. So if you ever do consider donating, that's exactly where your money's going to go to. Again, to keep it 100, the computer I'm looking at is about £4,000. Yeah, it's expensive, but with the specs inside, it will handle every bit of equipment that's plugged in. And there's a lot of powerful equipment that's being plugged in right now that Big Crystal is just not being able to handle anymore. And it's also going to handle everything else that I'm going to be doing for the future in terms of upgrades. So do watch this space. So CKs, thank you so much for the £20 cash app saying I'm lurking. My lovely Yorkshire lass. Oh, CKs, thank you so much, honey. Karen, thank you so much for the £8 cash app saying for tea and gob. Well, thank you so much, but if you don't mind, that's going to go towards upgrading the computer for the studio. Laurie Wilcox, thank you so, so much for the £8.30 cash app. Again, off to the upgrade of the computer fund. That goes. Who is this? Okay. No, the only name that comes on here is Gentry Designs, when I can get my teeth back in. Thank you so much for that generous £5 PayPal saying, hi, Stef. Love tea time in the stream. Enjoy your content. Currently drinking black rose tea, my favourite so far. Ooh, I've heard a bit about black rose tea. I do. I'm getting into the tea game, right? And I'm investigating and like taking an adventure around the tea world. And oh my goodness. This smells of raspberries. This tastes of raspberries. Magical Girl Jupiter is the shiz, guys. It's amazing. And my other favourite apple cider tea. You guys went nuts on that one. Tea Man is sold out pretty much on that. The stocks will be replenished apparently in March time. So next month he says that it should be back in stock. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Also as well, Mitchell, thank you so much for the £2 PayPal. That's so, so kind of you. Saying in the United States, instead of Diet Dr. Pepper, get Dr. Pepper Zero. It's the good one. Anyone with gastro issues should avoid anything with erythritol added. I've probably mispronounced that, but yeah, this is the thing, Mitchell. Firstly, thank you so much for that generous donation. All of it is going towards upgrading my computer. But this is the thing, right? So my gastro issues, I suffer from, here we go. It's quite a lengthy thing. Idiopathic acute recurrent pancreatitis. That is what I suffer from. That is my diagnosis. I have been told never to drink alcohol ever again, even though it's not the cause of my pancreatitis. Apparently, the doctor said it like this. If I drink alcohol, it's like taking a baseball bat and bashing my pancreas with it. Yeah, I don't really want to be, I don't want to be basically peeving off my pancreas, okay, like that. So I've not had any alcohol for the last, I want to say 16, 17 years, something along those lines. It was about, 20, 21 years old when I first had my pancreatitis attack, and I'm 36 now. So yeah. So, alcohol completely out. I don't eat any spicy foods because that seems to kind of like kick it off a little bit as well. I've done so much in my life to accommodate this illness that I've got, this hidden disability that I've got, that my one vice, which is Coca-Cola, my pancreas can go do one. I'm drinking it if I want it. If I want a Coca-Cola, I'm going to drink it. Oh, KFC as well. For some reason, KFC is like Russian roulette for my pancreas. Sometimes it's fine, sometimes it'll kick off. I don't know why. So, if I want a KFC, if I'm really like jonesing for a KFC, I'll be like, screw it, I'm going to have a KFC. If my pancreas is going to go and do a wobbly, so be it. I'll just kick it down with some morphine and that'll be it. 9 times out of 10. You know? But yeah. But Mitchell, thank you so, so much anyway. Really, really appreciate your kindness there, honey. Dame Anna says, you've just invented a new female hygiene line called MaxiPad. I, unfortunately, am not the first person to have coined the name MaxiPad. I think that was actually Andy on Popcorn Planet. So there we go. Lisa DeRubio says, he is the distraction. So the theory goes, Prince Andrew could be the public distraction for the other high-profile monsters to basically get away with not having a public flogging on mainstream media. Yep. The Cranky Crafter says it's not illegal to have your photo taken with a 17-year-old. Correct. Especially, again, when the legal age of consent in the UK is 16. So Minxie Foss says, what you're saying now has already been said back before they settled. Do you believe now he settled because Queen Elizabeth II was on her way out? Plus, as well, again, the allegations and the upcoming court case that was going to happen in September was looming over the crown and the Platinum Jubilee. It was damaging the crown. It was damaging the reputation of the royal family. And that had to be rectified one way or another. There he goes. Prince Andrew had to fall on the sword. Even if, let's say, he was innocent, he had to fall on the sword and he had to settle so it could go away. And so that the reputation of the royal family could be restored and that this whole court case would not loom over them for months and months and months, that would not overshadow the Platinum Jubilee. And the crown then would be protected, insulated, and everything would be fine after that for the crown. Because again, your needs come second, the crown's needs come first. You've got to fall on the sword to protect the crown and the integrity of the crown. That is what you must do. That is the culture, that is the way, that is the tradition of the royal family. I've never seen it. And I've never heard of this until now, admittedly. I may have to have a look into that. Stay tuned. And this is my point. So many people famous have gone to that island and they haven't been spoken about. But Prince Andrew, freely spoken about, freely. Interesting, right? Deborah says, Andrew metaphorically fell on his sword, hence the late Queen having Prince Andrew walk to a seat. Yup. If the late Queen Elizabeth II had any doubt and thought Prince Andrew did what he did, would you have really thought that in that scenario, in that event that we're talking about here, that she would have allowed him to be taken centre stage with her, walking her down the aisle to the seat at that church? Yeah, something's wrong with this picture, guys. Blenheim Garden, he did his sovereign duty. Yeah, there he goes. He fell on the sword to protect the crown. Regardless that he was telling the truth, that he was innocent, he fell on the sword to protect the crown. In that theory, yes, he did his sovereign duty. Theda says, chat, Cash App wants me to purchase a card. Is this the norm? I'm sick of YouTube taking 45%, but old and nervous about new dollar apps. Theda, do you have Twitter or Instagram? If you have, can you DM me and send me like a screenshot of what you're seeing. Because you do have to like register an account with Cash App. So register like a card. So for example, right, when I set up my Cash App, yeah, if I remember rightly, what I had to do was I had to put in either like my card details or my bank account details to link to my Cash App account, so that if I wanted to then take out money from my Cash App and put it into my actual bank account, there's a linked account. Or if I wanted to send money to someone else that's on Cash App, that again, to use my bank account via Cash App to do it. I hope that makes sense. If not, DM me. Oh my goodness. More notifications coming through on my phone. You guys are proper blowing it up. Thank you so much. I'll get to those in a moment. Um, I'm just scrolling down just to see if there's anything else. Victoria Catherine has a different opinion, saying, what a load of BS. Fair enough. Prince Andrew is guilty and wouldn't know how to metaphorically fall on a sword. It's been well documented that he's a hateful and spoilt little man. Fair enough. I respect your opinion on that. You disagree, and you presented your argument in a very, very respectful way. So, Victoria, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Respectfully, though, I disagree in the sense of I think there is now reasonable consideration to think, actually, could he be innocent? If Virginia was mistaken on her allegations against Alan, could she also be mistaken about her allegations against Prince Andrew? And when she first speaks out, with her face, her real name, everything, and she describes the 3 instances that she meant Prince Andrew, not once does she insinuate, confirm, say anything that anything improper happened intimately. And the only one time that she says it happened in that article was when she says his hand went on my lady lump, and guess what? It was a great joke. That is how she described that event. It was a great joke. Everybody laughed. No, oh my goodness, it was harassment. It was disgusting. I didn't want it. I didn't ask for it. It was unwanted. No, it was a great joke. And this whole thing of he wouldn't know how to metaphorically fall on a sword for the crown, he would. Everyone in the royal family, it is tradition, it is law to them. This is the royal way. Best believe this. If you have to fall on that sword to protect the crown, you do it without question, without hesitation, you do it. That is the unspoken rule of royal law. He may not metaphorically fall on the sword for anything else but that, but best believe he will. They all will. Every single one of them. If they have to, they will. Princess Catherine, Prince Andrew. They would have to too. If they have to fall on the sword to protect the crown, they will. It's just the way it is. That is the tradition. That is the way. The crown has to be protected at all costs. At any cost, the crown has to be protected. And if you have to fall on the sword in order to maintain that protection for the crown, you do that. You do that. But at the end of the day, that is my opinion based on, the knowledge that I have of the royal family. It looks like you disagree with me, Victoria, and that's absolutely fine. Again, I respect your comment, and I thank you for presenting your disagreement in a way that was very respectful. And yeah, very kind of you to do that. So thank you so much. But that is what I've just said is my response of it. What do you think? What do you think, Victoria? Do you still think it's a load of BS that he wouldn't fall on the sword to protect the crown? Let me know, honey. Um, Yvonne, yeah, there we go. Prince Andrew's punishment from the Queen has more to do for the kind of company he kept and isn't trusted to not continue such sordid friendships. He could damage the crown to infinity. There we go. Damage the crown. Whatever you do in the royal family is not only a reflection upon yourself, but it's a reflection upon the crown as well. Ultimately, you are representing and acting for the crown. And if you do not do so to the highest degree, with the best reputation, crown then could be potentially damaged, and you've got to protect the crown. I understand, Reverie, your opinion that the Daily Mail is not a reputable news agent, but that article is literally, the source of that article is literally Virginia. Virginia went to the Daily Mail and spoke to them, did that interview. Everything that they reported on in that article was from Virginia herself. Not sources close to Virginia, not sources close to the situation. No, from Virginia herself. So, yeah, you might want to revise that comment there, Reverie, in my humble opinion. Super Shiny Safe Haven says, Prince Andrew's a harmless idiot, naive and easily led by friends like MaxiPad. She knew he could be manipulated. I'm sure there's some kind of blackmail involved. But Hefe and Max's crimes went way beyond SA for those that were younger under the limit. Yeah. Hefe and MaxiPad, absolute monsters. Is Prince Andrew, though, based on what Virginia is saying now with her allegations? Now I question it. Now I question that bit. That bit. Nick Dev says, there's something with Prince Andrew. Sounds like a movie title. Ta-da! If anyone wants to develop that movie with me, let me know. Fatsma Bug says, in most countries, 16 is the legal age of consent. Well, it certainly is in the UK. Before I get on to any more of your comments, my goodness, more of my phone has blown up. Thank you so much. First up, Tammy. Wow. Wow. Thank you so much. That is insane. Really? Wow. Well, so Tammy, it's Lenormand Garden. Oh, hey up, Lenormand Garden. How's it going? Wow. Thank you so much for that wonderful, highly generous PayPal. £100, guys. Oh wow. Thank you so much. We're even considering sending that, let alone actually doing it. My goodness, that's very kind of you. Okay, so I'm reading the message. First time I've caught you live. Oh, well, welcome. Thank you. Saying, what software program do you use that displays your banners and lets you split screen to your browser? Thinking about doing a channel for card readings. Lenham and Garden. Oh my goodness. Well, um, first and foremost, I use OBS Studio. Everything that you're seeing right now, okay, I use a program called OBS Studio, and I'm able to create a screen like this. I'm also able to, for example, create a screen like this, okay? So different screens that you can see here. All of this is in a program called OBS Studio. It is a bit of a learning curve on how to get it all set up in terms of what you see on the screen, getting it all set up. But to be fair, once you get it set up, it's very easy then to use afterwards. Lenham and Garden, if you don't mind, could you DM me? If you're following me on either at Stef Alternerd on Twitter or Instagram, could you DM me or email me? StefTheAlternerd@gmail.com. My email is in the description bar below. I'd love to talk to you some more and maybe consider doing a collaboration. If you would like, reach out to me and yeah, we'll have a discussion and see what we can do. But I'd love to do a collaboration with you. As you say, you're a card reader. I'd like to do something. If you would like, the offer's there. Up to you. If you don't reach out, that's cool. All Gucci. But yeah, there we go. My goodness. Wow. Lenham and Garden, thank you so much for that generosity. That's amazing. Thank you. And wow, another one. Whoa, Michael. Wow. That's insane. Michael, thank you so much for the £50 PayPal. Shiz the bed, mate. Thank you so much. Saying just joined at the end here, but computer upgrades, KFC, and Stef are all awesome. Why? I'm glad you think that. Thank you very much. Yes, definitely. All off to the upgrade in the computer for the studio. That goes. My goodness. Thank you so, so much for all you guys' generosity in helping me get my computer upgraded for the studio. That's extremely freaking kind of you all. So thank you so, so much for that. Let's see what else you guys are saying. I will be wrapping up shortly. So if anyone else is considering donating, please do so. Again, it's all going to go towards upgrading the computer for the studio. But in the meantime, let's see what else you guys are saying before I sign off. My Moon Pie says, I think she knew he would have to settle Prince Andrew and she would get financial compensation. He was pretty much the only one left she could get dollars from. That is certainly a theory. Jose from the Ravens flock. Thank you so much for becoming a leader, my friend. Dude, that's insane. Thank you so much for your generosity, for your kindness for joining as leader. Appreciate your face very, very much. Let's see. They should be actually starting the Ravens flock shortly for their flagship show. Let me just make sure that I'm linked to them so I can basically direct you guys all there. Essentially, is the name of the game. Let me just make sure that is up. Customization, redirect. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I'm just sorting out my redirects. Stay there because I'll be reading some more of your comments before we go. Some reason it's not working. For some reason it's not working, guys. Why is that not working? I'm going to have to look at that afterwards. I can see here, though, that if I see who else I can redirect to in the meantime once we finish. Again, stay where you are. I'm still going to be here for a little while longer. Oh, is that good? That works. All right. So it looks like Jeff from Legal Vices is going to be on at 1 o'clock in the morning, my time, which is in 25 minutes. So I think that redirect is working for some reason. So if I save that. All right, done. I don't know why it's not working for Raven slot, but stay exactly where you are, guys, because I'm going to be on for a little while longer. And at 1 o'clock, Jeff from Legal Vices is going to be going live to discuss a little bit more about the Murdoch trial. So yeah, let's support him because he supported me and this channel and being such a freaking kind friend. Oh my goodness, he's so amazing, guys. Jeff is such a freaking sweetheart. I love him so much. He is my people. I absolutely freaking adore him. He's one of those where I will literally, and have done, go on stream at 1 o'clock in the morning on his channel, and I will leave about 7 o'clock in the morning without any sleep whatsoever because he's just my kind of people, and I adore the freaking pants off of him. So, for some reason, the redirect ain't working for the Raven slot. I'm going to get to the bottom of that. Sorry about that, guys. But somehow it is working for Legal Vices. So, at least I'm still able to share the happiness and the wealth somewhere. So, stay exactly where you are. Legal Vices will be going live at 1 o'clock. So, I've got about 25 more minutes with you guys. So, let's keep to chatting and seeing what you guys are saying a little bit more. Let's see. The Cranky Crafter. I like that name. I like that name, the Cranky Crafter. I like anything that's cranky. Saying the only thing she was consistent in was taking the money she was paid. Then we've got Kerry M. Please check PayPal. I have done. Thank you so much again. If anyone else wants to consider donating, you can do. All the ways you can donate, if you're considering that, is in my link tree, which is either in the description bar below or pinned with the comment right at the top of the chat there through my link tree. PayPal, Cash App, and Stream Elements are the preferred method. You can always super chat as well, but YouTube takes about 45%, so bear that in mind. Whereas Stream Elements and PayPal take about 5% of your donation for like admin fees, which is fair enough. Cash App, though, 100% of your donation goes towards the creator you're donating to. So there you go. I like to make you guys aware of, the division of how your donations are divided up, so you can make an informed decision of which route you want to donate by. If you are considering that, you can make that informed decision. Because a lot of people still think if they do a super chat, that the majority of it goes towards the creator. No, it doesn't. It doesn't, guys. Green Fairy CA says Virginia has always been dodgy, and her stories have never held up. We shouldn't condemn men without actual evidence, and certainly not based on a bad interview. No, but that bad interview to me indicates dude is hiding something. He's hiding something. He's not entirely innocent. In my opinion, conspiracy theory, whatever. But this whole situation between Virginia and Prince Andrew is not as cut and clear as what mainstream media is trying to make it out to be. I don't think Virginia is completely innocent in all of this. No way. No way. Stephanie Gentry says, I've always wondered if there's something fishy going on in this situation. Right. Right. And yep, seeing as it's the first Tea Time with Stef episode live, if you want to upgrade your tea game, you can do so. Project Metal Music, thank you so much for sharing the link. TheDragonsTreasure.com, use code ALTERNERD, 10%. Use code ALTERNERD for 10% off absolutely everything. For this stream, I have been drinking the Magical Girl Jupiter. It is a raspberry flavoured tea, and it smells of raspberries, and it tastes of raspberries. It is insanely freaking tasty. I love this one. You guys have been absolutely killing it when it comes to the green cider tea, to the point where T-Man's like, we've pretty much run out. We're replenishing supplies and they'll be back in March. So, yeah. So this is the next one that you guys can go nuts over. Go nuts over this one. You like raspberries, you're going to like this. I promise you. Asa S says, I heard Virginia's having a book coming out with lots of names and info on it. Anyone else heard this too? So it's coming up to the point where the embargo is lifting, where she is able to publicly speak out about things as per her agreement to settle with Prince Andrew last year. So there is that. I have heard, though, that the Hefe list is going to be released. Watch this space. Jen Pearson, here we go. Here's a question. Who made them go after Andrew to distract people from someone even more famous or politician? Who indeedy, right? Lisa says, I'm enjoying tea time. I'm glad you are. Hope to see you again. This time next week, 10 o'clock UK time for another episode of Tea with Stef. Let's drink some tea. Let's spill some tea, right? Zenit Forward says, she's right. You never forget. How can you say for 3 freaking years, he's a monster, he's a monster, he's a monster, and then turn around and say, oh yeah, my bad, my mistake. I was mistaken. You're not a monster after all. Please forgive me, and then run away. Like, no. That was a bit Batman-esque, wasn't it? No. Oh, I think I've just found my new favorite thing to do. Oh, there we go. Caroline McClure says, funny no one else stepped up about Andrew. She was the only survivor. Okay, let's keep it 100 here, okay? Potentially, all right, if we're going to go devil's advocate here, maybe no one else stepped up about Andrew because the royal family paid them off. Got those, agreements in place to keep them silent and paid them off. That is a possibility, guys. That is a possibility. However, this stream with Tea Time with Stef is solely discussing, right, the allegations Virginia's making against Prince Andrew, could he actually be innocent? There is a possibility. There is an argument to be made that, yeah, he could. And it's not as simple and as cut as dry as the media's trying to make it out to be. King Bob says, I think Alan paid her off, and her saying she was wrong is part of the deal. Hang on a minute. Let's go back to this. This is from the article, right? Of Virginia Giuffre saying she was wrong to accuse Alan Dershowitz of being a monster. Here, quote, I now recognize I may have made a mistake in identifying Mr. Dershowitz. This is from Virginia. Defamation lawsuits brought by Virginia and Alan against each other have been dismissed without any cost or fee awarded to either party. King Bob, respectfully, you are incorrect. It was reported no one paid anyone off. It was dismissed. No costs or fees awarded to anyone. There was no exchange of money for this lawsuit to go away. She dropped it like it was hot shiz. Sorry, King Bob. I have to say, in this regard, you are incorrect. Unless you have evidence to support that you are correct. And I would more than be happy to hear that out and have my mind changed. But based on what I've got so far, sorry, you are incorrect. Asa S says, yes, I think that too. Prince Andrew is not that smart. I think he was an easy target. Instead of various important American former presidents, in plural, maybe even she was advised to do. Ooh. My teas came in, Stephanie says. Yeah. She says, about to try the rose tea. You gotta let me know. Let me know. What do you think to him? Oh my goodness, I'm really, really excited. Might find out. What do you think to him, lass? What do you think to him? Caroline, exactly my sentiment. I say, if you're mistaken about just one, how many others? Exactly. This is why I started to look into, hang on a minute, if you're mistaken about Alan Dershowitz, who you've been saying for 3 years straight, he's a monster. And then you're like, oh, shiz the bed, my bad, I was mistaken. Sorry, Al. Let's drop it. Who else is she mistaken for? Could she be mistaken about Prince Andrew? And that is not me defending monsters. Let's not get that twisted. Nick Dev. Oh, yeah. Clinton is the definition of deep state. Dude, they are the deep state as far as I'm concerned. Lisa Maria says, I love your hairstyle, Steph. Thank you. I've definitely, the last few weeks, definitely favoured like the curly kind of hairstyle. I have to admit, my hair's naturally curly, but you've seen it, guys. When it's dry and it's natural, it's definitely on the wilder side. This is more using my curling tongue. To get them a little bit more defined and less frizzy, if that makes sense. Jazzy B says, I've never seen that article before. Thank you for digging that up, Steph. Very interesting. You're very welcome. Very interesting indeed. When I go into research mode, It doesn't matter how far back I find something, how far back the age of the evidence is, I will find it. And I found something all the way back in 2011. 12 years ago. Over a decade old. I don't stop, guys. I don't stop for no one. Wendy says, I love the Florida trip, the Hulk ride. I need a chiropractor appointment after. I know, right? Andy absolutely raved about it though. He was like, it's amazing. It is wonderful. The thing is, for me, it's like something like that that's absolutely extreme. I didn't want to go on it for fear that the G-force that's involved in that particular ride. I know this is probably gonna be like me being highly paranoid, but the force of it hitting my stomach, I don't think my pancreas would be particularly kind to me after that. So there we go. If I didn't have my pancreas issues, I would have gone on that with him, like without question. The other rides that I do go on, where it's not as intense, and it's okay. It's okay. Eleanor S says, have to go. Just want to say you're awesome and your chats are always great and often refreshingly trollous. Bye. Oh, well, thank you. My mods are great in terms of, keeping the chat friendly, alive, and, relatively troll free. So all the credit really goes to the mods. So thank you, mods. You guys are awesome. Stephanie says, Dragon's Treasure has some awesome jasmine pearls. I'm so excited to try those too. Oh, yes. And if I just scroll down, oh my goodness. Theda Coca, thank you so much for the $5 super chat, saying still playing with the Cash app, but truly like this tea with Stef idea. I'm old. I need a teenager. LOL. Email me. StefTheAlternerd@gmail.com or DM me at StefAlternerd either on Twitter or Instagram if you're having issues, and I'll try and help you, Theda. Let me just scroll down a little bit more. Woo! Fairies of Venus. Wow. Thank you so much for that kind and generous super chat. Insane. Thank you so much. Saying, hey, it's Merlin. Hey up, Merlin, how's it going? Wow, that's it though. You're not going to say anything else, Merlin. Oh, well, thank you anyway for that wonderful $99.99 all off to the upgrade the computer fund that goes for the studio. My goodness, Merlin, thank you so much. That is very, very kind of you. Also as well, Nicole Riviera, thank you so much for that wonderful super chat saying your research skills are awesome. Oh yeah, if I do say so myself. If I just scroll back up and go through a few more of your chats. 8 minutes to go until Jeff from Legal Vices goes live. I'll certainly be going over afterwards to watch, so I'll see you all in the chat. Stay tuned, stay here until we go through. Wendy says, DM me, Steph, so I can donate safely. Can you DM me? At the moment, I'm on a stream. But yeah, if you can DM me, love, yeah, I will try and help you. I'll try and help you. Bat Turner, howdy, I'm here because Captain Corey told me to be. Captain Corey is amazing. Watch this space. I should be going down for another visit soon. I would have gone down sooner because I've got him a present from America for his channel. But I came back with a viral infection, and I ain't giving that kind of present to Captain Corey, that's for sure. So I'm making sure I get over that. Make sure I've definitely got over it. And then I'll be going down again to go visit Captain Corey, and we'll have some more fun. So, yes. Stay tuned, guys. Stay tuned. But Bat, holla. Hey up. How's it going? So, Dreadnought Metal 2006. Steph, is there anything that can be done about pancreatitis? With mine, no. Usually, if you stay away from alcohol and you have a certain diet, then yeah, pancreatitis can be like a one-off situation, right? However, with mine, it's recurrent, which means it happens a lot and it's idiopathic. And what does that mean? So it's, well, this is how my doctor explained it. He's like, idiopathic. I'm like, what? He says, we're literally calling ourselves idiots, Steph. It's exactly what he said. Idiots. I was in the hospital at the time. This is what he said. Idiot. We're calling ourselves idiots, Steph. We don't know why it's happening, but it is. Good luck for the rest of your life, lads, because you're going to be living with it for the rest of your life. Hey! So yeah, idiopathic, in other words, means that they don't know the cause. They do not know why my pancreas likes to be absolutely angry and try and kick my backside and kill me. So for me, the only thing that can be done with the form of pancreatitis that I've got is pain management. So what does that mean? So that means, first and foremost, I have what's called a spinal cord stimulator, which is a machine that is inside of me and right now is turned on all the time. I've got a battery in my butt. Oh yeah, it's in my butt. And I've got wires coming from that battery inside going up my spine. And this machine is on all the time, and it's electrical impulses that's constantly on, blocking the pain signals going to my brain. So my pancreas could be absolutely angry with me right now, and I'm not feeling it because the machine is taking care of it. Sometimes, though, the machine cannot take care of it because the pancreas has gone into Super Saiyan mode. For all you anime lovers out there, you'll know what that means. Basically, it's gone into like Super Hulk mode, right? Hulk World Breaker mode. And my machine is like, nah, screw this, we ain't handling you. And then I get to feel the pain for realsies, right? The pain signal then definitely go to my brain. And then at that point, I've got to take morphine. Either way, what can be done about my pancreatitis? My version? Pain management only. That's it. Which actually, I spoke to my pain clinic nurse earlier on this week, and I think it might actually be coming up to that time where I might actually have to replace my battery. But they turned around and they said something really interesting, which is this. So, my machine at the moment, I'm really going off on a tangent here, but you get to know a little bit more about me, and I'm all about being open, right? So, my machine that I've got inside at the moment, the spinal cord stimulator, I've got to charge every single week. Quite literally, I'm charging my butt every single week. I have a battery pad, and I put the pad over where my battery is in my butt, and it's wirelessly charging my battery inside. It's awesome, right? When I had the surgery, just before I saw my pain clinic surgeon, and he was like, right, where do you want the battery? You could either have it in your back, where your ribs are, just at the bottom, or top of your butt. And I'm like, top of me butt, because I literally turned around and says, I want to explain to people that I charge me butt every single week. That is literally what I said to my pain clinic surgeon. And he kind of looked at me, he was like, really? I'm like, yeah. So he looks at my back and he rationalizes it like this. Well, to be fair, Steph, there's not that much fat where the bottom of your ribs are in your back. So yeah, we're going to have to put it in your butt after all anyway. I'm like, winner. So yeah, so the spinal cord stimulator definitely changed my life. I used to be on buprenorphine literally every single day. It was insane. Now that the spinal cord stimulator is installed, I am not on that at all, and I only have to take morphine as and when. So I'm not even on that every single day. It's definitely changed my life and given me back a quality of life I never thought was even possible with this disability. But the pain clinic nurse turned round to me and said that since the installment of my spinal cord stimulator, which was about 7 years ago now, oh my goodness, have times changed. There's now a machine where I don't have to charge at all when it's inside. That would be a game changer. I won't have to take my charging stuff when I go abroad or anything like that. And I won't have to remember or forget to charge, or it's a thing, guys. It's a thing. I won't have to be as much of a slave to it as I am at the moment. That would be a total game changer for me. So yeah, I'm in contact with my pain clinic and my painkiller surgeon to be like, well, if the time is coming up now to replace it anyway, can I have the one where I don't have to charge my butt every single week now? That would be great. So, yeah, that's that. Sleepy Javan Langer, let's go back to the topic of the stream. Where did Andrew first meet Virginia, US or UK? UK. By her own admission in that interview, they met in London. And again, legal age of consent in the UK is 16 years old, guys. 16 years old. Hey! Valhalla awaits! Hey up, mate! How's it going? Oh my goodness! Hope the goats are doing well. Hope to see you on a stream one time. We need to sort out like a collab or something, dude. I'll email you. I can remember. I mean, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'll email you. We'll sort something out. Guernsey Gal says he had 5 years to speak with the FBI and NYPD before the Queen's Jubilee. Yeah, I have said previously in this stream, he definitely should have spoken to the authorities. Sorry. He definitely should have done. To me, that indicates, does he have something to hide? Yes. However, the topic of this stream is, could Prince Andrew actually be innocent? And could Virginia's claims against him be incorrect, be wrong? Could she be lying? Could she be mistaken? If it's a possibility, that could be the case. Wendy asks, do you have your gallbladder? No, that was taken out. That was taken out pretty early on, actually, of my diagnosis. I want to say about over a year later from when I first had a pancreatitis attack. They took out my gallbladder because it wasn't emptying properly. And they thought that could have been the cause of my attacks. Unfortunately, it wasn't. But if it wasn't emptying properly anyway, it is what it is, right? Oh my goodness, I've just got another notification on my phone. Let me have a look at this. Oh my goodness, Lenormand Garden. Yes. My goodness. Thank you so much for emailing me. We'll get that sorted. Thank you. Whoa. Terry. Wow. That is insane. Thank you so, so much for that wonderful generosity. Wow. Wow, thank you. So Terry has made a PayPal donation of £110. My goodness, that is massively going to help for the new computer. Saying, I appreciate what you do, and you have to have a computer. Miss you when you're not here. Oh my goodness. Terry, that is insanely, wonderfully generous of you. Thank you so, so much. I really appreciate it. And yes, definitely off to the new upgrading computer fund that goes. Thank you so, so much. Wow, that's insane. Wow. Thank you, Terry. Thank you. Okay, it looks like Legal Vices Jeff is starting, so I'll be ending the stream in a few more moments. Let's just read a few more last bits of your comments before you get transferred over to Jeff's stream. So stay exactly where you are there. Wank Shaftesbury says, I don't think Andrew is innocent, but I think he's been used as a distraction or scapegoat. Fair to say, I would say that's fair to say. Deezer Maria says, I think Prince Andrew is innocent, taking the fall for the Illuminati elite of Hollywood to protect the crown. William Howe. Prince Andrew would like an apology, Virginia. Stephanie says, this is why I love you, Steph. One of the many reasons. I appreciate how you can respectfully disagree with someone. Well, yeah. You know, this is a thing, right? Not everyone's going to agree with me. Not everyone's going to like me, and that's absolutely fine. But if you make a comment that is respectful when you disagree with me, dude, I'm going to be respectful back. Like, that's Gucci. That is absolutely Gucci with me. I appreciate the discourse. I appreciate, when people disagree with me respectfully. We get to hear different points of views, different perspectives. Ain't that freaking great where we can actually have a conversation when we disagree rather than I disagree with you, therefore you cancelled. Nah, we're not playing that game here. No. No. But glad you like it here, Stephanie. Appreciate that. Rebecca says, Andrew is a much better royal representative than Harry. That is for sure. As an American, married to an Englishman, I see Stef's side a lot more clearly than a lot of Americans. Yeah. Because, again, the American... the American... How do I put this? Americans, I would like to say, understand the monarchy, but then don't at the same time. There is a culture, there is tradition that I don't think is widely known with Americans. Like, for example, me turning around and saying, when it comes to the crown, you protect it at all costs. And if you have to fall on the sword to protect the crown interest rather than your own, you do that. Without question, without hesitation, you do that. I don't think a lot of Americans would know that or would be fully aware of that. Or that a lot of Americans aren't fully aware that we taxpayers, some of our tax goes to the royal family to, help them, with the upkeep of the castles and all that lot. Because our investment as taxpayers, we get back like 3 times over, something ridiculous like that, because of all the tourist kind of moolah that the royal family attract. Because a lot of people come to England because of the royal family. They're a great tourist attraction, right? See, there we go. That makes sense. Yes. Rebecca, MVP comment of the stream. Right here, guys. MVP comment of the stream. For sure. For America, it's entertainment. For the British, it's their culture. Mic drop. Mic drop. Yes. Hell yes. All day freaking long. Hell yes. Hell yeah. Without a shadow of a doubt. Totally. Yeah. Playlist Heat says, love you, Steph. Oh, love you too. Thank you so much. There we go. My husband will not talk against the crown outside of the home. It's his duty as a Royal Marine to do the proper thing. Proper thing, protect the crown at all costs. Do not put it in disrepute. Do not tarnish. Do not sully it in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, Rebecca gets it. Denise says, hello, beautiful Steph. Sorry I've been a little MIA, not feeling 100%. Oh, Denise, no need to apologise. Bloody hell, if you're not feeling 100%, what are you doing here, love? Take care of yourself. Hope you get better soon. My goodness. Hey, Marcella. Hello again, honey. Ness says, I finally caught you live for the first time, so hi from the land down under. Well, hey up from Yorkshire, Ness. Lovely to see you. Right. Okay. So, oh, hang on. Terry says, Steph, can you tell us what the donation is up to now for your computer? Well, based on all your very, very kind donations that you've sent in today's stream, bearing in mind if you've done a super chat, YouTube takes about 45% of that. Let me just have a think. I'm just going down all the ones that have come in on my notifications as well. Think I estimate between 16 to 1700. I estimate. Yeah. I estimate that, Terry. Between 16 to 1700, I estimate. Don't hold me to that because that is a very, very rough calculation on the fly, okay? But I think somewhere along those lines. So, yeah, that's where we're at the moment, I estimate. And yeah, the computer that I found is 4 grand. Yes, it's expensive. Yeah, but the specifications that's inside of it is going to handle literally everything that I've got plugged in right now and everything that I'm planning to actually acquire in the future to improve and develop the studio further, not only for my channel but for Popcorn Planet as well. Because bear in mind, guys, big major announcement on Popcorn Planet on Monday. It is life changing. Definitely a major announcement. So make sure you tune in for Pop Culture Justice Live on Monday. Because yeah, you definitely don't want to miss out on the news there that's going to be announced. In the meantime, I think I'm going to leave it here. So, with that being said, I would like to thank each and every one of you for all your support. You guys are freaking amazing. Thank you so much. I'm glad you enjoyed the first ever episode of Tea with Steph. Make sure you stay tuned for next week, 10 o'clock UK time, another episode with Tea with Steph live. Do make sure, if you haven't done so already, if you want to join in for those festivities for next week, then consider upgrading your tea game. Go on over to thedragonstreasure.com, upgrade your tea with some of the offerings that the Tea Man has here. Use code ALTERNERD for 10% off anything that you choose. Is an affiliate code, so I do get a little something in return, but that does not affect the price that you pay, and it does help support this channel. DM me, let me know what you guys have chosen if you do get something from the Dragon's Treasure. More importantly, let me know what you think to it. Also, as well, if you haven't done so already, do make sure you subscribe to join our Walter Nerd tribe. Help us get to 100k so we can get that silver play button ourselves. Like, share, comment down below your opinion, conspiracy theories, and whatevers. You'll see me tomorrow for another live stream, Daily Nerd Live, 7 o'clock UK time on Sunday. Let's talk a little bit more about the royal family as we always do now on this channel. Let's have some fun together. Guys, stay exactly where you are. You're going to be transferred through to Legal Vices. What shall we say? What should we say to spam Legal Vices chat? Let's say, I don't know. Alter Nerd Raid. There we go. Let me put it in the thing. Type Alter Nerd Raid in Legal Vices live chat. There we go. I'm spamming my chat because I can. So there we go. So yeah, you're going to be transferred through to Legal Vice's live stream. Type in Alternerd Raid so we can let him know that us Alternerds are giving him some love because he definitely deserves it. In the meantime, guys, I will see you guys, like I said, tomorrow, 7 o'clock UK time for some Daily Nerd Live. But that is it for me. So thank you so much, guys. Appreciate all your faces. And yeah, I will see you guys all over in the live chat on Legal Vice's stream. Later!